Test. My mic isn't hot. Oops. How are you feeling? Oh, no, it was my fault.
Okay, so she likes to play with things with wires.
Oh, hey, yeah, sorry, for a second, I was grabbing my clock. I'm good on clock. I'm not gonna get arrested for talking about smoking pot on the internet.
Sound alright?
I was trying to think of something really snarky to say, but I got nothing, sorry.
Afternoon.
Good evening.
I just got up like 10 minutes ago.
Hey, man. Wow. That's actually the first night that I'm not the one who just woke up.
Yeah, well, I got ridiculously drunk last night.
Woohoo!
No hangover. But
I'll drink to that.
No.
permission.
Oh yeah, I know that. I keep him around. I keep him around to know what's going on with these conservatards. Yeah, he's like super Armin.
Yeah, but say, isn't that why you keep Armin around? Hey, I gotta say, one thing about this recent debate is that I found something that Armin and I both agreed on, and that's really weird.
Wait a second. Is that the fact that when girls are holding guns, they're way hotter than they are without guns?
Yeah, there is that.
Well, I guess that depends on whether or not they're like who they're pointing it at.
Well, sure. Trigger discipline is hot.
A girl holding a gun is hot no matter what. I mean, that bitch could be pointing at me. Goddamn, I'd know.
You get a total death boner.
I'd be like, oh. But deep down, I'd probably deserve it.
That tells me a lot of weird S&M things about you I didn't know if I wanted to know. Thank you.
No, wait.
Do you want to be punished, John? It's okay.
Actually, I'm the sadist, so.
Yeah, really, me too. And that's the TMI line.
No. I just took a bite of this bagel. Anyway, like, yeah, I think like my side goes to like more emotional pain than physical pain.
So you're a dick.
Yep,
You dick.
I know.
I just like tying chicks up.
In interesting and beautiful ways, right?
Of course.
Got to get that gotta get that nut right.
What people don't appreciate: scarves better than ropes.
Hmm.
Everybody knows that ropes are supreme.
Yeah, I mean they have their place. Actually, the best sex prop investment that has ever been made. I can't I actually didn't buy it myself, so I didn't make it, but whatever. Is a remote controlled vibrator. It's the bomb. Just like you can just be like have the little remote in your pocket and just hit the button, and she can be in the next room.
Huh. Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Huh. Giggity.
Uh, I'm glad I don't have any sex taboos.
Huh. I mean, there is a reason.
I have not.
I never got that email from you.
Haha, I did. Ha.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I will check that right now. I should be good. Okay.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, I got kind of Oh, sorry.
Hey, Rob.
Yes.
Your asshole of the week this week.
Bill Maher.
Okay. I found a dude in Baltimore.
Well, we're actually gonna like arrange it ahead of time. There's no crossover. That's crazy. I'm sure none of you picked mine. Nope. Quite the opposite, in fact. Rob? Yeah, I'm curious.
Actually, the reason I'm picking him is because he's been out for like 6 months or 2 months.
Yeah, I didn't catch his show last night. I'm probably gonna go watch it after this.
Well, the thing of it is, at the end, at like the middle of November, he goes out for until mid-January. So there's that peak period of time where there's like no Bill Maher, and in between that, at the end of January, The Daily Show and Stephen Colbert go out too.
Yeah, so there's been like shit on TV.
Yeah.
Woo, let's do it. Yeah.
What the hell? Are you stuck at home on a Saturday night with nothing to do again?
I can't take it anymore!
Then join me, my co-hosts, and my guests every Saturday evening for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Okay.
Together we'll discuss the big news of the week from entertainment and politics, talk about the issues that are on your mind, and hey, we'll even talk about general stupidity and jackassery from the American right.
You stupid jackass!
So join me every Saturday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central at my Ustream home, Mic Check Radio. Come on in, it'll be loads of fun.
Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
Live on all the interwebs and internets, it's Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Fuck yeah!
Yes, it is Mic Check Radio with me, Adam Hebert. Thank you for joining us as always, and let me dial down my mic a bit. No, I'm still clipping. Shit.
I will let you do no such thing.
Okay. Anywho, joining me as always is the usual crew, my co-hosts, associate producers, slave labor. Of course.
Slave labor is a good one.
Slave labor.
Wait, they're not getting paid?
I don't have money to pay you. George Soros sure as fuck isn't paying us. Anywho, joining me as always is, of course, John Kendall out of Missoula, Montana.
Afternoon.
Mr. Rob Poole out of Baltimore, Maryland, still recovering from his bout with the crud.
That's an interesting way of putting it. My voice still sounds like shit too.
You sound like you're getting better. You sound
Fine to me.
better. Yeah. And of course, Wes Carscaddon, the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Because is there any question that the biggest badass in the world is from Chattanooga? I mean, really.
Choo-choo!
So yeah, it's been a tough week for me. We went back to school on Monday. And this week just kicked my ass because I'm not a morning person. I can handle a late morning, like 10 o'clock. That doesn't bother me much. But like 8, 9 o'clock kicks me in the ass no matter what. And of course
Fuck
I
that
haven't...
noise.
Hmm?
I said, fuck that noise.
You know, and of
Remember when I was
course...
in college? It was like, no, noon's my cutoff. Nothing before noon.
I'll do 10, the thing is that I have to build my schedule around Japanese. And if I take a noon Japanese class, I can't work.
Right.
And work is what pays for my medication. But of course, that wasn't just, that was the suck salad. The suck dressing was I spent almost $200 on new glasses.
Well, at least you got new glasses out of the deal.
They haven't come in yet, but, Walmart says complete pair of glasses starting at $38. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's like for the frames.
Yeah. That's just no lenses.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
It's a good old-fashioned con job.
What? You mean Walmart sucks? This just in.
I've said it before.
Of all people should know that.
The only reason why I shop there is because I'm too poor to shop anywhere else. I mean, I'll sometimes go to Meijer because they have stuff that Walmart doesn't. But, hold on. I need some light. My
See, I just absolve myself of the responsibility because other people shop at Walmart that I know, so I just let them do it.
My mom works at Sam's Club, so she gets her stuff there.
Let's try this.
There you go. Yeah, I don't question where the delicious food that is put before me comes from.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't...
I will say one thing, though, and I've noticed this, because also recently I bought new glasses. It's kind of funny how many companies and industries smear their shitty ass logo on glasses.
Oh God, you're not kidding.
It's I was trying out some different glasses, and there were glasses from Randy Rhodes, or not Randy Rhodes.
That would be interesting.
I was about to say Randy Rhodes.
But this one lady, she threw me this one pair of glasses, and it had Trump's logo on it.
So did these Randy Rhodes glasses have this on them?
I just don't want to hear from people who say, well, if people had guns in the school, then, gun nuts always think they're an asset to the scene of a violent crime. They're half right. They're
No, actually, I was thinking of that one guy from, what's it? What the fuck it's called? American Idol.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson, I think. I forget the name.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. That makes a bit more sense. Be like, Stephanie Miller brand glasses. Speaking of Stephanie Miller, let me tell you. I'm sorry.
You got the Trump glasses, right, Rob?
No, I did not.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
I've got to be honest when it comes to that kind of shit. If the Dallas Cowboys or Houston Texans put out glasses frames, I would buy them.
Hey, to everyone, to each their own. I mean, the sad thing is I had to get a crappy pair of $9 frames, otherwise I wouldn't be able to afford glasses. I told him point blank, I'm on a severe budget. I don't make that much. On a good month, in a good pay period, I make about $120. So I'm making about $240 a month. And I said, I can't afford more than $150. So, maybe I can wiggle the numbers around a bit. and he says, well, I'll take $20. I was like, okay, I like where this is going. I thought he felt, bad for me because, I'm this poor. Listen, I need glasses. I have to see, but I can't
the
afford.
very image of the starving college student.
Yeah,
47% of Americans just feel like they're entitled to vision.
But here's the thing. Turns out I didn't realize he said he would take $20 off the highest quality frame, off the highest quality lenses, and he said they would last longer, they were stronger. And I thought about it, I was like, if I'm getting these great lenses for the same price as the crappier lenses, it's like, okay, I'll go for it. Perfectly reasonable decision, right?
Right.
Turns out he just gave me a fucking coupon. I didn't realize what he was doing until after. So why not just take the money off the fucking lenses?
That don't make too much sense.
Con job.
Con job.
Well, like I said,
It's a good old-fashioned con job.
So yeah, and it looks like we have some people out in our chat room already, so looking good. We got 7 people. That might just be a record. Well, no.
No,
But,
I think we have more than 7.
I think
Let's
we've
not dwell
breached.
on it and do a good show.
I think we've breached 10 before, but not Rob Poole, of course.
Yeah.
Says he
Rob.
only shops at Target. I do sometimes shop at Target. For example, I bought a hot water pot from Target last week because apparently there's a run on tea kettles at the start of every school year.
Makes sense.
And it's like, you're telling me, he was like, I don't know when I'm going to have these tea kettles. I was like, you do realize that if I don't get my tea kettle, I'm going somewhere else, right? It's like, sorry. I was like, okay. I went to Target. I bought the last one on the shelf. So
Nice.
use it to make soup, and it's the same price
Dude,
as
those hot
Walmart.
water pots, if you live in a dorm, are the bomb.
Yeah.
They're so handy.
Yeah, well, Rob, when I went to, let's talk about this for a second. I mentioned Stephanie Miller. Let me tell you, I wish I was in Washington D.C. this weekend, obviously for the inauguration parties, but not just that. This week is the Sexy Liberals show in Washington D.C. All 4 sexy liberals, so Stephanie Miller, Hal Sparks, John Fugelsang, and Aisha Tyler. Aisha Tyler being the voice of Lana Kane on Archer. They're going to be doing the show. It's going to be opened by Jim Ward, who is an accomplished voice actor, and Chris Lavoie, Stephanie Miller's executive producer. And apparently there's going to be some big names on panel at the end of the show. And it's like, damn, if only I had money to go to this, And some of our friends in Liberal Talk Radio are going to be there. Tom Hartman, nationally syndicated talk radio guy. Jacob Dean used to work for him. Shano and Danielle, Talking Left. I mean, talk about sexy liberals. It's like, and I'm
I'm
stuck
not
here.
there, so obviously it's not all the sexy liberals.
And I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in Illinois. But of course,
DC is going to be crazy.
yeah. But you know what? It would be so much fun to go just because there are going to be a bunch of stupid conservatives there to moon and give the finger to.
I don't think there are going to be that many conservatives there, though.
Oh, come on. Of course there are. They're stupid.
They're stupid, but they're not that smart. They know that there's going to be a bunch of liberals around.
And the sad thing is that, again, we said this before. President Obama, not a liberal.
Yeah.
He's at best a moderate.
He's a center-right technocrat.
I thought he would be Black John Kennedy. He turned out to be Black Reagan.
It's
be
like
worse, don't get me
John
wrong.
Fugelsang says,
This is true.
We
This is
ordered
true.
an FDR, they sent us a Clinton. And let me tell you,
Let's call that a fair enough comparison.
we need an FDR. And I'm praying America finally pulls its head out of its ass and realizes we've been sold a fake bill of goods by the by the Republican Party. This idea that, oh my God, government's horrible, it's evil. Bullshit. Okay? Bullshit.
Well, yes, if it's so evil, why are you trying to nominate yourself to be in charge of it?
Exactly. If Republicans hate government so much, why do they run for Congress? Why do they run for Senate? Why do they run for president? If Antonin Scalia were a man of his principles, he would resign right now. I mean, am I wrong?
Unfortunately,
am I wrong?
He's not a man of his principles.
No.
You know?
People do not give up power easily. This we know.
You know, but I mean, I'm just so sick and tired. You know, and I know we're gonna be talking, you know, more about the gun thing because that's the big news. Oh my God, Obama is such a he's such a horrible He wants to be a king. He wants to be a dictator. No, he doesn't. Go on,
Hey, Adam, once guns are out of the news cycle, can I get a raise?
Sure. Yeah, we'll
Awesome.
But I think we can all agree that the whole the pro-gun side basically went full retard this week.
Yeah. Hoisted on their own retard.
Ah!
And I'm trying to find my John Fugelsang clip. Because, you know, they'll do... I mean, Jesus Christ, you got the conservative Christians out there? The conservative Christians? Really? Saying Jesus wanted us... Let's lead off with this because this is actually a really good clip. Assuming it's here and I can find it. John Fugelsang. Okay, there we go. This is you know, again, everyone here knows I worship at the altar of John Fugelsang. He's a smart guy. He's also very, very knowledgeable about the Bible. Unlike most conservative Christians, he's actually read the Bible. I mean, what a concept. Reading the Holy Scriptures. You know.
The weird concept is actually reading. Who reads anymore?
You know, well, I mean, here's the thing. I know we've mentioned before, but John Fugelsang is the child of Catholic clergy. His father was a Franciscan brother. His mother was a nun. They fell in love. They got married. So, you know, so here's John Fugelsang talking about how you can't use the Bible to justify guns.
Friends, here's the Bible lesson for the day, and it might come in handy for Christians or atheists or sane people of any faiths. Because right-wing Christian gun enthusiasts have new ammo in their fight to prove you can be a follower of Jesus while also enjoying weapons designed to kill lots of people in a short amount of time. It's Luke 22:36, and it's become a mantra for fun-loving, gun-loving, Father and the Son-loving Christians. And whatever you think of religion, you may well encounter this talking point. It's part of Luke's account of what happened to Jesus right before the Roman soldiers came to arrest him, throw him in a Roman prison, and execute him with a Roman crucifix, or as Glenn Beck puts it, killed by the Jews. Now in Luke 22:36, Jesus tells his apostles that he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. Now this might surprise some of you who don't remember the part in the Bible when Jesus turned water into whoop-ass. But go ahead and search Luke 22:36 on Twitter. Tons of Christians are throwing this around like the last part of the Second Amendment, conveniently forgetting about the well-regulated militia part. It suits their taste just fine as long as you don't read the rest to put it all into context. And they're saying that this means Jesus is pro-gun, the modern-day sword. But what Jesus is really doing is talking about prophecy and being a criminal. Because as soon as Jesus throws down his line about buying a sword, he adds that they only need swords because the prophecy says they're meant to be criminals. Quote, "For I say unto you that this that is written must yet be accomplished in me, and he was reckoned among the transgressors." See, he's not talking about defending yourself. He's talking about having a sword as a prop so he can get arrested, fulfill the prophecy. In the very next line, the apostles say, well, hey, Jesus, we already got 2 swords here with us. And Jesus says, that's enough. Jesus never sends them out to buy swords. No one ever buys a sword. In fact, when the jack-sandaled government thugs swoop in to arrest him, also known as Alex Jones's wet dream, it's Peter who pulls a sword and cuts off some guy's ear. Does Jesus join the fight? No. He heals the wounded guy and tells his friends, those who live by the sword shall die by the sword. In other words, my Judeo-Christian friends, Jesus never comes out against owning swords, but he's pretty seriously against using them. Of course, if Jesus had an AK-47, he could have mowed down the Romans, never been crucified, never had a religion named for him, and none of us would have to know who Pat Robertson was. So remember, the best weapon for refuting these Bible thumpers tends to be the Bible itself. Because the only way you can cling to both the Bible and a gun is if you totally agree to not read the Jesus parts. Here endeth the lesson.
I mean, wow. I mean, he just
I think the part
decimated...
about Pat Robinson hit me the most.
I wish we didn't know who Pat Robertson was. And I forgot to mention, because I'm an idiot, I think the official show term is hot mess. But I just confirmed a brief guest spot by Driftglass and Bluegal. And they'll be on for like 15 minutes in the third hour. Cool. So we're probably gonna do Asshole of the Week a little early just to be safe. You know what I'm saying? But they're in Washington D.C. for inauguration. It was like, hey, we could, let's get some news. Let's get some news from D.C.
Yeah.
So we will have a brief guest spot, and I've reached out to one of my more pro-gun friends, Zach Hess, and full disclosure, he was also an RA when I was working in the University of Montana. Nice guy, but we disagree on certain things. And I said, look, you tell me when you're free on a Saturday, I'll have you on for the whole show. We'll go over this gun control debate. But my condition is this: I'm giving you this list of all 23 of President Obama's executive orders. And I want you to explain. I want you to have a legal reason for why they're unconstitutional. We'll see if he takes me up on the offer. He seemed interested, but I mean, I'm all for more inclusion. I have no problem having a right winger on the show. The only reason why I don't usually go super conservative is because I don't want a brawl to break out. Like Armin, nice guy, but we don't really agree with him, and I'm just afraid that we would all be at each other's throats,
Hey, I'm just glad that I'll at some point have somebody to back me up with this whole gun thing. I've been in the lion's den.
Well, and like I said, so...
all these damn gun-hating liberals.
Yeah, really.
Look, I've said it before. I do not want to take... Excuse me. Hiccups. I don't want to take your guns. I have no interest in taking your guns. I'm just saying I think we need to reconsider the AR-15 rifles. Or assault rifle, and again, I get what you're saying. We need to look at more operational parameters instead of appearance. I get that. But the problem, I pointed this out earlier this week, the problem with the gun control debate in this country is we have one side, my side, Wes's side, this show's side, saying, let's have a rational adult debate. The other side says, no, do what we want or we will shoot you.
Yeah, it would go further than that, though. There's one side that also says, no, nobody gets a gun. And that's the extreme on the other side. It does exist. It's not everybody.
Who has said no? No, I know it's not me. Dianne Feinstein hasn't said.
Has advocated for the ban of all firearms.
When?
And, don't get me wrong. It's her right to have an opinion.
But when? Is that extreme. When was this?
I would have to look up the reference again. It came out recently.
No, it didn't. She was talking about reinstating an assault weapons ban. That's it.
No, there was a point where she expressed an opinion, and it wasn't like a policy thing. It was
maybe she just
opinion,
said, "I think the country would be a better place without guns." I agree. That doesn't mean she wants to take your guns.
No, she said what I read was that she would prefer they all be illegal. Again, it's an opinion, and that's fine. It's her right to have that opinion.
Okay, then when she introduces a bill in the U.S. Senate to make owning all firearms illegal, we'll bring that up for discussion. I'm of the opinion the world would be a better place if we got rid of all the guns, but I'm not coming for your gun. So let's take a deep breath.
But to deal with the political realities of the situation, America has like fucking a bajillion fucking guns. And how are we gonna like take all of them?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the logistics would be a nightmare.
Here's
Not
the
to mention,
thing.
of course,
sorry.
if that were ever an instated policy, how many guns would suddenly be taken on fishing trips and fall off the side of a boat?
Here's the thing. We constitute, I believe, 3% of the population of the world. We have half of the guns, and all these horrible mass shootings happen here. It's the guns, stupid. Not U.S. I'm just saying in general. It's not just violent movies or violent video games. Let's look at this like the scientific, as a science experiment. We can make a hypothesis. It is the violent movies. Okay. So where else do these shootings occur? Pretty much just the United States. But Japan gets their movies.
That we have the highest population as well, and the highest incidence, not per capita of gun violence, but of total gun violence if you don't adjust for population.
Okay,
We
but
also
here's
have,
the thing.
the biggest
That kind of,
the biggest prison complex too.
This is true.
The war on the
We're not-
failure
we're-
on
let's
drugs
remember-
also counts into it.
science
Yeah, I
experiment.
mean, you can't talk about gun violence without talking about the war on drugs.
And I'm with you on that. I think weed should be legal. I think we waste a lot of money putting poor kids in jail over an ounce of weed. I'm with you on that. But let's focus here. Okay, scientific process. You make an observation, you develop a hypothesis, you test it. So we're up to hypothesis. It's the movies, it's the culture, it's the video games. Okay, Japan gets our movies, our video games. It's a reciprocal relationship. England, Australia now allows violent video games. Our movies go everywhere, but only in America do we have these incidents. So therefore, it can't just be the culture. What do we have that they don't? All these guns.
Well, there's also the fact that we don't also have their gun regulations either.
We also don't have as well educated a populace that can. For example, I think that a violent movie or video game, for example, will have more effect in an American culture because it's already there. It's not because of the movie or the video game. It's not inherently caused by it. But there's more people who are going to take it seriously in our culture, who are going to not be able to differentiate. This is just fantasy. It's not, how things work. It's not just
by the right wing's logic. If it's the culture, people should be trying to put arc reactors in their chest because they watched Iron Man.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Again, what is logical? I'm not saying it's just the guns. I'm saying that the fact that we are lousy with guns has to be a factor.
Oh, certainly. You'll hear no disagreement that there are lots of people who should not have guns in America who have guns. I mean, that's anybody who doesn't agree with that is a fucking idiot. But what the question becomes, what the effective ways to address the problem are. But that's for another segment.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but I will say again, Rob, as I said, your friend Frank is an asshole. I mean, I pointed out exactly what the Second Amendment actually says. I pointed out that the Second Amendment is a provisional amendment. I'm not saying that just because it does not guarantee an individual right to gun ownership. That is something Antonin Scalia pulled out of his Sicilian ass. Until
they have to be pulling stuff out of.
I believe when was the Heller case where Scalia said, yeah, there's an individual right? I think that was 2008. I believe that was DC versus Heller or Heller versus DC, whatever. Until that case, every case that came before the Supreme Court, they said there is no individual right to gun ownership. The individual has a privilege to own guns, not a right, unless they are part of a well-regulated militia. Antonin Scalia comes along and says, nope, everyone before me was wrong. And because he had 4 jackasses who agreed with him, because they'll do whatever they're told by their masters, all of a sudden, this right has been made up. And you know what? I should have booked Kenny Pick for tonight because he wrote... you know what? We're going to get Kenny Pick on next week to talk about his new article at Messaging Matters, The Super Right, because That's the way the right wing see, the conservative gun nuts see it. Their right to bear arms supersedes our freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, freedom of religion, our right to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. If they can't have their guns, guess what? They're going to kill us because that's, from their cold dead hands.
I mean, I'll tell you what. I agree with you that he's kind of an asshole, but you shouldn't call him an asshole. Call him an asshole on my,
Well, I didn't call him an asshole on your feed.
I'm sorry, you called him an idiot.
If the shoe fits, it's like conservatives get.
It's not that classy, dude.
I never claimed to be classy. That's the thing. You know what his problem is? I've said it before. The one thing conservatives can't stand is a liberal with a spine. I'm a liberal with a spine. I don't put up with shit from a conservative. He's got a problem with that? Guess what? He can either shut up or he can take his ass kicking like a man.
Or he can bring facts to a fact word.
Or that's fine too. Bring facts to a fact fight. I adhere to the Chicago way. He pulls a knife, I pull a gun. And yes, I will admit I'm a huge fan of The Untouchables. That's one of my favorite movies. But I'm a disciple of the Chicago way. He puts one. They put one of ours. They get one of ours kicked out of Congress. We get one of theirs kicked out of the White House. Anyway,
I see a small problem with that plan.
Well, you can explain that when we get back. How about that?
Okay.
This of course Mike Check Radio with me, Adam Hebert, West Carscaddon, the most badass coast in Little Talk Radio, Rob Poole, and John Kendall out of Missoula, Montana. We will be right back after this.
And we are at an impasse.
About 6 minutes.
I'm afraid so. I can't compete with you physically, and you're no match for my brains.
You're that smart.
Let me put it this way. Have you ever heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates?
Adam Hebert.
Yes?
Morons.
You're listening to Adam Hebert and Mike Check Radio.
Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show.
That right-wing Republican from Texas was only helping Dennis because he thought Dennis would be easier for Joe the plumber to beat than Ken.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, a pet rock would have been better candidate than Joe the plumber. I think he might actually have been a pet rock before he was a non-plumber. So, but he was a union pet rock, never mind. Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com.
It's the HowdyLand.com News Bullet with Stan Douglas. Go to HowdyLand.com and click on the Funny Time special offer to receive your free sample issue today.
It was a close call in Congress today when a tourist visiting from the outside world nearly removed House Majority Leader Eric Cantor's knife from Speaker of the House John Boehner's back. Unemployed tanning salon receptionist Shirley Batdorf of Tawas, Michigan, was pulled away from Boehner in the nick of time.
Well, how was I supposed to know Cantor was getting ready to give that blade its first official twist?
According to congressional legend, anyone who successfully pulls a knife from Boehner will be given one golden chance to slap that look off of Utah Senator Orrin Hatch's face. And finally today, the Hotel California is back as a bed and breakfast. The beautiful and hellish home to the dissolute and damned, made famous by the Eagles in 1976, was sold late last year at a bank auction to a retired couple from Irvine. The new owners, Sid and Melba Sporkin, have kept everything the same, including the hotel's heroin-flavored mints. This HowdyLand.com news bullet was brought to you in part by the People's Republic of Smartphones. Just get one.
The 99 Report with Allie McNeil, covering all the issues that affect the 99% and what drives the Occupy movement. Live on Fridays from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/99-report. Podcasts available on the blog, the99report.blogspot.com. And be sure to follow Allie and the 99 Report at Watergate Summer on Twitter. The 99 Report with Allie McNeil, a voice for the majority.
Here we go again. I demand more.
I want it, I need it, and I'm gonna have it. Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
And I should probably turn my mic on. That would probably be nice for everyone. We are, of course, back, and I know we left on a cliffhanger. When we last left, Wes was saying, surprise, that I'm horribly wrong in some way, and he's going to explain why now.
Not actually. You made the point that, you know, if they kick out somebody from Congress, we kick somebody out of the White House, but they don't have anybody in the White House. So that's, you know, physically impossible.
Okay, you got me there. All right, so Rob, you were wait. We're doing stuff out of order. We're not. Our house is out of order. Excuse me.
No, you're out of order.
The whole damn system's out of order.
All right, so of course this is Mike Check Radio with me, Adam Hebert, and joining me as always is of course Rob Poole out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Moo.
John Kendall out of Missoula, Montana.
Oink.
And of course, Wes Carscaddon, most badass co-host on Liberal Talk Radio.
Yeah, that's a pickup line.
I think that's the North Dakota pickup line too, buddy.
Tennessee, where the men are men and the sheep are nervous.
All right, so damn, what was I thinking? Rob, are any of the inauguration festivities, kind of bleeding over into Baltimore?
No, we're too busy getting ready for the Ravens to kick some ass.
I see. Yeah, I'm going to admit, I really don't care about sports. I mean, The only reason why I was rooting for the Packers is just because then I can play the Packers won the Super Bowl montage from Mystery Science Theater 2000. So, there we go. And Victor Rocco, regular listener Victor Rocco, who has been a busy beaver on our behalf this week, let me tell you, he has just been busting his hump for us.
Thanks, Victor. That's cool.
He asks, what do we think about Stephen Colbert's sister running for Congress? Who wants to offer their opinion first? Because I haven't had time to form one.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't really read many of her things that she has to say as far as her positions. But coming from a similar background, I'd imagine they're similar to his, in which case I'm all for it.
John.
First of all, I'm going to research how... Wait a second. She's not that hot. I don't care.
Rob.
Could be interesting. I mean, considering who she's running against.
Who is she running against?
Damn it. I have to look it up. That one guy that got, that one senator that liked whores.
That one senator that liked whores, right.
You're going to have to narrow it.
Okay. I have to get a little bit more specific than that, I guess, right?
Do you mean the governor who went to Argentina? Is that who you're talking about? Mark Sanford?
Yeah, that one.
All right, I'm all for that.
In all fairness, he was obviously in love.
Yeah, but he lied.
Well, sure. No, I'm not defending his actions.
I mean,
I'm just saying,
don't get me wrong. I know
help
that's
to have a soft spot because he wasn't just fucking around on his wife. He was obviously in love. Well,
I feel kind of bad for him, but if he were a smart man, he would have stayed out of politics. Now we turn the liberal Death Star towards him. We're going to power up the main weapon, and we're going to blow up his Alderaan.
Oh, I mean, sure,
sorry.
perjury is perjury. Don't get me wrong. But, people are three-dimensional.
All right, so I don't know if did everyone hear about that new ad by the NRA?
I've heard about it. I've not yet seen it myself.
All right,
the one that targets the first girls.
Yes. Let me see here. Where's Joe Scarborough? Joe Scarborough. Where the? I had this loaded. Okay, so this is not what I had in mind. Okay, so here we go. It's not edited. I apologize. I'll have to edit it as best I can. But here we go.
I'm sorry.
Mika, Joe mentioned in trying to link things, the issue of pornography, pornographic videos. Let's get to the ad.
Okay,
because this is pornography.
The NRA has released a new ad that brings the president's daughters into the debate over guns in America.
Are the president's kids more important than yours? Then why is he skeptical about putting armed security in our schools when his kids are protected by armed guards at their school? Mr. Obama demands the wealthy pay their fair share of taxes, but he's just another elitist hypocrite when it comes to a fair share of security. Protection for their kids and gun-free zones for ours.
That's a real ad. Yeah. That, my friends, is political pornography.
That's one of the grossest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Joe,
what's wrong? What's wrong with these people, Mika? What's wrong with these people? You have children that had no say in the decision on whether their father was going to step forward to be president of the United States, to run for president, one of the most bone-crushing, sacrificing things any husband or wife can do to their family. And the second they make that decision, their children and their entire family have targets on their backs. And the NRA is putting something out like, what's wrong with these people? Putting out apps that 4-year-olds can play on the anniversary of the Newtown murders, and now putting out an ad talking about the president's daughters?
They are out of step, out of the mainstream, totally out of sync with what's going on in our society. And quite frankly, after seeing that, I think some of the people who run that thing are sick. I really do. I think they are sick in the head. And I'm serious. I'm embarrassed right now. I'm embarrassed for our country that we...
We're going to stop for now. We'll play a bit more of that in a minute. But, I mean, did you hear that right after they played the clip? They were just stunned.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine that if some liberal group had done that with the Bush twins? President Bush thinks his children should be able to party, but yours can't. You know,
it really started with Obama coming in, that suddenly the president's family isn't off limits.
Jeez,
like,
I
there's
wonder...
kind of an understanding. You don't fuck with the guy's family. You know, they're not in it.
And I wonder what's different about President Obama that was different from the 44 past presidents. What could possibly... Oh, he's black!
Yeah, it's an established fact that the minute Obama won the presidency, that the number of right-wing extremist groups shot up into the air.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's astounding how much the NRA membership figures have just increased over the last month.
and they release a gun game, a violent gun game, on the anniversary of Sandy Hook? Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, 2 points of order. One, that game specifically isn't particularly violent. It's shooting paper. You're not shooting people or anything.
You're shooting coffins. Oh, and if you pay $5, you can upgrade to the sniper rifle. Fun.
Honestly, as games go, that's about the least offensive thing I've ever heard. So whatever. Also,
but it was released
an anniversary of Sandy Hook.
Okay, the 1 month anniversary of Sandy Hook. It happened 1 month ago, and they released it. So these people are either just mentally deranged, or they're just stupid. Because let me tell you, I mean, the NRA is just behaving like, I mean, I understand they're pissed because they're seeing their influence wane. Look, I'm gonna bottom line it for you, Wayne LaPierre, you cowardless motherfucker. Gun control's gonna happen. You can stamp your feet, cover your eyes, and scream at the top of your lungs all you like. It's gonna happen this time. We're not sacrificing any more babies on the altar of your radical right-wing agenda. Anyway, there's more to that clip.
Have a section of society, the NRA, which should have a voice, certainly trying to protect a constitutional amendment. I understand that, and there's a really legitimate debate there. They just took it. They just brought it down to the lowest, most base level. I don't even want to. I don't even. It's now fringe.
Well, they need new leadership is what they need. Their leadership has dragged them over the cliff. They are now a fringe organization with millions of mainstream Americans hunting, guys and women that love to hunt.
Yeah. You should be embarrassed to be a part of the NRA at this point.
Protect their families, and
I'm going to go even further. If you aren't embarrassed, you're a sociopath and you shouldn't be able to own a gun. Something is wrong with you if you look at that ad and say, that's a good ad. I like that.
I mean, Joe totally nailed it because the NRA is a valuable organization whose leadership sucks. It's run by the worst possible people.
Excuse me.
It's fine.
But there should be a lobby for gun owners and gun rights. They should also be not dicks. And they should also not just be a general kind of conservative bloc, If I'm a member, for example, of a gun or a gun owners organization, I don't want to hear what I should think about gay marriage. Because it has nothing to do with guns.
Well, the problem is, of course, you got, again, there's all this, if you think of the right wing as a family tree and these organizations as children, there's all this incest going on. I mean, you've got Wayne LaPierre sitting on the board of Americans for Tax Reform, and they have Grover Norquist, the head of Americans for Tax Reform, sitting on the board of the NRA. So you have all this inbreeding, basically, I think that's a fair thing to call it, happening. But that's how they enforce this uniformity on the right wing. I have a friend on Facebook
because it's just a lockstep.
I have a friend on Facebook who's going after Chris Christie. I said, all you are proving is that you can't tolerate dissent. In the Democratic Party, we have liberals, we have moderates, and we have conservatives. And you guys, and I told him this point blank, I said, you guys are drumming out anyone who you don't see with eye to eye. He's upset because Christie doesn't follow Reagan's 11th commandment. Fuck Reagan's 11th commandment. If a guy's acting like a schmuck, you call him a schmuck.
Oh yeah, that's the problem. Is it's just been completely the whole process has been completely hijacked. You know. I wish there was a really good opposition party to the current administration. It sucks because there's not.
I wish we had a liberal party in America. We don't. I said this before. We don't have a liberal party in America. We have two right-wing parties. We have one party that's right of center, and we have another party that's to the right of Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, that's I would like to say we have a center-right party and a batshit party.
Anyway, actually, I just received this in an email. I don't know why the NRA would send me this, but they're sending us previews of their new ads. Let's take a listen to this first one.
President Obama and his family live in the White House. That's not fair.
It's not fair.
Shouldn't we all live in the White House?
Yes! Who said that? Thank you!
Isn't he a big hypocrite poopy head because we can't live there too?
Poopy head.
This message paid for by the large incontinent infants that run the NRA.
I have no idea why they would send me that. I'm not on their mailing list. I'm not, but... And there's a second one. Do we want to listen to this now or wait?
Well, let's go ahead and do it.
Okay, this is the second NRA ad that they're trying to get on the air next week.
President Obama has his own airplane. He's a snob and a hypocrite.
What a snob.
Is it right that President Obama has his own airplane and we don't?
Hells no.
After all, this is America.
In America of all places.
This ad paid for by the ever-dwindling radical fringe known as the NRA.
All right, I have to confess. I mean, obviously everyone on the show, Rob, John, Wes, they all know that that's not really an NRA ad. That's, of course, our dear friend Kenny Pick, who made those delightful ads. And I heard them. He got those. Those were on the Stephanie Miller show. And I heard them. I was like, can I maybe please play them? And he said yes. So, hooray!
You really need to go ask him for it. We're not worthy, but
well, how else is he gonna know I want it? I have to ask.
Okay.
So. Yeah. So, but that's basically what we're arguing with. We're arguing with a bunch of children, a bunch of infantile children, who feel threatened because we are drawing a line saying we're not going to let you cross this line, and they're just, oh my God, As I said earlier, there comes a time when the only rational response to something a right-winger has to say is a fully erect middle finger in the words, fuck you. The time has come for that response with the NRA. They don't want to behave like adults. They don't get a seat at the big boy table. We're going to act like this is Thanksgiving dinner. There's the adult table, there's the kids table. NRA, you go sit at the kids table. No, wait, no, we don't want you tainting the children, so you go sit in the corner.
Yeah, they need to be punished for what they,
And I'm sorry.
When you come after the president's kids, there's got to be something. There's a payment to be made.
And like I said, if we had done that with the Bush twins, remember when Bush said, "My daughters are off limits," and we respected that. Remember that? We actually said, "Okay."
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that, in a broader sense, that separates liberals and conservatives. I didn't like Bush. I thought he was taking the country in the wrong place. But, we didn't have, thousands of, liberal extremist groups forming, saying,
I didn't like Bush, but I never screamed about assassinating him or seceding. Jesus. That's too far.
Yeah.
And again, there has to be consequences.
The right today is just utterly batshit. They have no respect for our president, and he is our president. He's been elected twice.
Yeah, he was elected by the same democratic process that worked for them.
Compared to, well, no, hold on. I'm gonna have to call you out, Wes. Bush did not win his elections. He lost both of his elections. Okay, it's a matter of public fact now that Ohio was rigged by Ken Blackwell in the 2004. And of course there's 2001 where the Supreme Court all of a sudden said, yeah, the Founding Fathers wrote this part where we can decide federal elections in invisible ink that only we can read. So Bush was never elected.
Fair point.
Not to relitigate the past because, believe me, I wish if we could prove that, he stole the election, we could just kick all of his picks off the courts. I wish that would be possible. But, I live in reality, unlike the Republicans. That's why the conservatives are always pushing this birtherism shit, because they think if they could just prove President Obama isn't qualified to be president, and he had to leave, if he got, if he lost the job, that would mean everyone he picked would no longer be able to serve. That's not the way it works, guys.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm trying to think if we have time for this. Yeah. We'll go back to what the NRA got. The NRA president was whining. Surprise. But it is time for our hour break, and we'll have an announcement in the near future, sometime in this show when I feel like making it. Exciting news! Anyway, we'll be right back after this. This is, of course, Mike Check Radio with me, Adam Hebert, Wes Carscaddon, Rob Poole, and John Kendall in Mizzou, Montana. We will be back right after this.
Many Bothans died to bring us.
Adam Hebert on Mike Check Radio.
5.5 minutes.
never know who or what you'll hear when you listen to The Nicole Sandler Show at RadioOrNot.com.
Your view is not being represented in this country because all of our views have been corrupted by money in politics. Remember, 94% of the time, the candidate who raises the most money wins.
That's the fact that we need to drive home constantly. It's all about the money. Dylan Radigan, you rock.
The Nicole Sandler Show, live Monday through Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, or podcast anytime at RadioOrNot.com.
Hi, friends. This is Tom Hartman.
This is Stephanie Miller.
Hey, this is Hal Sparks.
I'm Brad Friedman, and I approve of Nicole Sandler's RadioOrNot.com.
Radio or Not.
Radio or Not.
RadioOrNot.com.
RadioOrNot.com.
RadioOrNot.com. RadioOrNot.com.
What the hell? Are you stuck at home on a Saturday night with nothing to do again?
I can't take it anymore!
Then join me, my co-hosts, and my guests every Saturday evening for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert. Okay. Together we'll discuss the big news of the week from entertainment and politics, talk about the issues that are on your mind, and hey, we'll even talk about general stupidity and jackassery from the American right.
You stupid jackass!
So join me every Saturday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central at my Ustream home, Mic Check Radio. Come on in, it'll be loads of fun.
Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
And now, live on your computer machine, it's Adam Hebert with Mic Check Radio.
Fuck yeah! And we are back just a little earlier than I expected. I hope that doesn't startle the co-host too much, but we are back for our second hour of our program tonight. And of course, joining me as always is, of course, Rob Poole out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Hey.
John Kendall out of Missoula, Montana.
Hello.
And of course, as always, saving the best for last, the most, of course not, I'm just joking by the way, the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio, Mr. Wes Carscaddon.
Oh, hi there, sailor.
And I have to mention this because I would be remiss if I didn't. Those clips from Joe Scarborough and some other clips that we'll be playing later on come to us courtesy of an old friend, Wes and Rob will know who I'm talking about. M was I just, you know, I don't feel comfortable. You know, it's kind of weird after 12 years knowing what the M stands for. You know.
Yeah, but the air of mystery is always nice.
So thank you very much, M. I think we'll have to have him on for a whole show sometime just to see, because he keeps shooting me stories. You know, we'll give him AP credit for tonight's show. Wes, take that memo down, please.
Okay.
M AP credit. Okay, good. All right. So before we get back to the senseless bashing of the NRA, well, it's not senseless. I think it's richly deserved, if you ask me. I have an announcement to make. I've gone and bought us a website. Oh shit! Almost knocked my mic over. Yes, we finally bought our website. It is under construction, and I have been busily writing a speech for when we're ready. And I thought I would give you guys a short preview of said speech. 1 second. I gotta find it before I play. But yes, we do have us a website, and I'm, hold on 1 second. Okay, so yeah, we're ready. So here's a sneak preview of the speech that I'll be when it's ready. It's not quite ready yet. I've been working on it throughout the week, but between classes. So here we go. Here is an excerpt from my future speech.
For myself, it gives me great pleasure to take this bottle of very splendid and worthwhile champagne and break it against the noble prow of this very splendid and worthwhile yellow bulldozer. So there we go. We're online.
Yeah, I finally was like, even though I didn't know about, we've been discussing things behind the scenes. Like when he offered me the deal, I was like, sold. So
also, by the way, that champagne bottle will not break. Carscaddon will make sure of it.
Oh, the bottle will break. It won't have anything in it. Oh no, if it's champagne, I won't be the one stealing it.
Don't you mean champagne?
Champagne.
Champagne. I love champagne.
Well, I was referencing the Continental skit that Christopher Walken does on SNL.
Oh, I thought you were referencing Zach Brannigan from Futurama. Shows how
I only watch high IQ shows, Adam.
Well, that's true. So yeah.
So we have a website.
Yes, we now have a website. Our address is www.miccheckradioshow.com. Unfortunately, Mike Check Radio was already taken. And
Bastards.
yeah, you are bastard people, and I hate you, and I hate your ass face.
So what is it, Mike Check Radio? Or MikeCheckRadio.com.
Huh? I do not know. I just know we couldn't get it.
Let's find out.
They were like, we can make an offer to buy it out for you. It's like, I don't have money. If it's a blank page, I see. That's one thing that pisses me off is they have people who will buy up all these domain names in the hopes that some sucker will pay $100 for it.
Server not found.
Yeah, I'm getting as a server not found error.
Oh, those bastards. But yeah, so Mike Check Radio Show, one word, .com, and we're also going to be hosting podcasts for Kenny Pick. He's been a supporter of me and our show, and I think we can, help him out. So yeah, and
he can help us out.
Well, yeah, I was actually thinking about asking him to do us some new promos, focused on the liberal horseman, the horseman of the liberal apocalypse theme. I've got some ideas, but yeah, I'm very excited, and for now, I'm focusing on just getting a very basic page up because, as I said, I've got classes, and it's hard to find, and I'm not a very good coder. I'm just using a what you see is what you get maker for now, and we'll see about getting a really a better page, but for now we're just going to get the basics. And this also means that we're going to have a podcast. We're going to try and get on iTunes. For this podcast, though, for our breaks, we're going to basically cut out everything from our breaks except our promos for other shows. I don't, I'm pretty sure iTunes will check a bit more closely about copyright. And I mean, as far as I know, Overclocked Remix, it's in a legal gray area, and I don't want to risk that. I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying. I don't want to risk them looking more closely and saying, yeah, we can sue, that you can sue these guys.
Right.
So we're going to, basically, our podcast is going to be about 2 hours and 40 minutes per edition, and we'll try and get that up every Sunday morning to Sunday night, depending on, whatever. And we're going to be, we've got blogs. We're going to have a sponsors wall for the people who've supported us financially. That includes, of course, Rob Poole and Paul Green of Left Wing Radio Stations. And I'm looking forward to it, and we'll keep you posted. So, yeah. Woo. We have a webpage. Anywho, let me see. Let's... We've already done this, so... here's some clips from The Daily Show, January 16th. This is another one of what M sent me. Oops. So here's Jon Stewart.
Listen, as you know, following a series of terrible gun tragedies in this country, and let's call it 30 years of urban warfare, America is in the midst of a serious conversation about guns. The NRA has been very clear that it would meet any attempt to put limits on gun ownership with a great deal of resistance, and they're sparing no expense in getting the message out.
Are the president's kids more important than
I
yours?
think we can skip that.
And why does he get to veto bills and command an army when we don't? All right, so the conversation has started and we're off to a deplorable start. I swear to you, if I didn't know any better, and I'm not a big conspiracy guy, after seeing that ad, I would think the NRA is either an elaborate, avant-garde Joaquin Phoenix-style joke or a false flag operation run by Michael Moore in an attempt to discredit responsible gun owners. But anyway, your response, Mr. President.
I believe the Second Amendment guarantees an individual right to bear arms. I also believe most gun owners agree that we can respect the Second Amendment while keeping an irresponsible, law-breaking few from inflicting harm on a massive scale.
Huh. All right. Interesting open on his part. I thought he was going to go with, if you bring up my kids again, I will drone strike your to kingdom come.
See, that would have been me if I were president. But, bring up my kids again.
That's why you're not president.
Exactly. That's why I'm not president. That and the fact that I'm not old enough to be president yet.
Well, sure, that too.
Isn't it 35 or is it
35, I believe, yeah.
Yes, 35.
And again, I was so upset, I came this close to being Speaker of the House. It's just not fair. It's not fair.
Life's not fair, Adam.
I know. But again, I can't help it, we're...
That's not fair. That's not fair at all.
There was time now! And of course, no one probably gets that reference.
Of course.
Nope.
Some of us are literate.
It's not a book.
Film literate, whatever.
Okay, yeah, it's the Twilight Zone.
Erudite, okay?
I have no idea what's going on.
Erudite. Anywho. Yeah, I mean, and I see Natural Mommy. Is that Becky, John?
Yes, it is.
Okay, hi Becky. Yeah, we've got us a great chat tonight. Anywho, so let's get back to clip number 2 about gun control.
So how did his recommendations go down with the pro-gun crowd?
All the things that he pointed out will only affect law-abiding citizens who already abide by the law. We've got over 20,000 gun laws on the books. We need to enforce those gun laws.
That is... Okay, that's true. That thing he said was true. That happens to be entirely accurate. I think we have like 20,000 on the books. We need to enforce those. But lest mayors and governors and local police try and take that enforcement job on themselves, slow down. There's no need. As former Kansas Congressman Todd Tiahrt pointed out in a conversation that he had about why mayors should not be actively trying to trace where illegal guns were coming from.
When crimes are committed or when there's a dealer selling guns illegally, we have an organization that goes after them 24/7 every day. It's called the ATF, and they have officers completely assigned to do this.
The ATF! The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. It's an actual government agency, not just a traditional Southern wedding gift. Look, I would like... Depends on where you're registered, really. Although when you get those, they don't have to be registered. That's the beauty. I'd like the ATF's director to explain to us, law-abiding citizens, if you're out there 24/7, why is this country ass-deep in illegal guns?
We have not had a director of alcohol, tobacco, and fire for 6 years.
Oh, sure! I'm supposed to believe Captain can't have sugary drinks. I don't trust information from anyone who can't handle more than 16 ounces of high fructose carbonated ambrosia.
We don't have a permanent director. They haven't had a permanent director of that gun agency in 6 years.
Oh my God, there really is no ATF director.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very illuminating segment on the Daily Show this week.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, and what I love is how the one comment there from President Obama was the most measured statement you'll ever hear. It was completely like, yeah, we're gonna not totally overreact.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm not actually coming for your freaking guns, you idiots.
Yeah. All right. So but why is there no acting director? Well, here we go.
If I heard it on Fox, it must. So there's no director of the ATF. So is the ATF like a Montessori agency where there's no director, but agents are just encouraged to be curious and regulate weapons at their own pace?
The current acting director he commutes from Minnesota. He's the U.S. Attorney for Minnesota as well as acting director of the ATF.
What? You're telling me this dude, the guy who is the acting director of the ATF, has another full-time job that regulating alcohol and tobacco and firearms is his side gig? He's just moonlighting, picking up a little extra dough. Why? There's 7.8% unemployment in this country. We can find someone to take that job who doesn't already have another job.
The Senate won't confirm anybody to the full-time job.
Well, the Senate won't confirm anybody. Well, who gives a It's the director of the ATF. It's not a cabinet-level position or a Supreme Court justice. Why is it the Senate's business to even confirm? I'm being told that the Senate has to confirm the ATF director because apparently Wisconsin Congressman James Sensenbrenner, for some reason, inserted that provision into the Patriot Act in 2006. Sorry, I don't have footage of that. It was apparently done on the QT. I do have footage of Sensenbrenner from that very same year, accepting the NRA's coveted Defender of Freedom Award. Coincidence! Unrelated action. But you know, I mean, okay, they don't have a director. They still have ATF agents.
In 1972, and I went on ATF in the 70s, there was 2,500 agents. And there's still 2,500 agents. 39 years later.
Not the same ones, though, right?
Probably mostly, to be honest.
Are you getting the idea that this is a rigged game we're dealing with here?
Yes, actually, I do.
Enforce the gun laws! And then they go behind the scenes and make it impossible for the ATF to enforce the fucking gun laws.
I would like to say that if they need somebody for that job, I'll be ATF director. I love alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Damn it! I was going to be. See, and you, Wes. I just want to say, I think you would make an excellent MythBuster.
I suppose.
But you would also make a great ATF director, also.
That's the gig I want.
I wanted to be ATF director.
Yeah, but see, he has the experience, though.
I can guarantee I have more experience in alcohol, firearms, and tobacco than you do.
Among other smokables.
Yeah, but that's the DEA's job. I'd be a good DEA chief, too.
Well, I remember a long time ago when I said that, I did that meme where we decided who would be what in our administration. I said, yeah, I'll have Wes as my defense secretary.
I'll be your offensive secretary.
I like that. All right, so back to the Daily Show. And I'm sorry, I know this is a lot of stuff, but I mean, I couldn't find anything from this other than long bouts of laughter for me to edit out. So, here we go.
So policing over 100,000 gun dealers in this country with just a couple of thousand agents who are also responsible for tobacco and alcohol may seem impossible. But here's the good news. 18 years ago, a professor analyzed ATF tracing data and found that 57% of guns used in crimes, the illegal guns, could be traced back to just 1% of licensed gun dealers. All the ATF has to do is create some sort of federal registry of these transactions, trace them back to the bad dealers, and those dealers, the dealers ruining it for the law-abiding gun dealer and citizen, flooding cities with illegal guns, they can be stopped.
According to today's New York Times, the Bureau is prohibited from creating a federal registry of gun transactions.
What the are you doing? Why? That makes no sense. Was it getting too easy to police illegal guns?
And what if we do it with our arms like this?
Are there any other somewhat comical limits on federal law enforcement's ability to enforce federal law? Sorry, normally I get that through my ear, but I guess the old pneumatic tube system didn't realize the question was rhetorical, but I'll bite. Let's see what we got here. All right, hold on. Oh, apparently the ATF isn't allowed to inspect dealers for inventory discrepancies more than once a year, and in reality, get to inspect them once every 17 years. 17 years. I'm assuming that's because the ATF doesn't have enough agents, and not that the ATF agents are cicadas. Nah.
Oops. That is not what I wanted. Sorry. All right, so 2 more clips. Here we go. The Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
Well, I guess self-reported inventories from dealers are better than nothing. What? Oh, my God! Why, it's Gunther, my messenger pigeon. Oh, I see. We can't rely on self-reported inventories either, because the ATF cannot require dealers to keep track of their own inventory. You see, about 10 years ago, a congressman stuck an amendment into a federal spending bill that severely restricted the ATF's ability to do what the NRA says they want them to do, which is enforce existing gun laws. It allowed dealers to ignore police requests for assistance. It denied Congress formally public crime gun data. It ended the oversight of used firearm sales. It required the destruction of background check records within 24 hours, to make sure no mistakes could be corrected. Who did this? What congressman jammed this amendment into an unrelated spending bill, completely castrating the ATF's ability to enforce existing gun laws?
It was the amendment named with your name, T-Art.
The T-Art Amendment is to protect those who protect us.
Holy T-Art! You're the guy from 5 minutes ago who was saying, slow down, states and municipalities. The ATF's got the enforcement game. Let the ATF handle it. And then you cut their balls. You have broken my T-Heart. That amendment couldn't be worse if the NRA wrote it themselves. Oh, boy. No! Gunter, why? Why would you be in the tube? You're never supposed to cross antiquated message delivery systems like this. The NRA did write that law.
Yeah.
That joke was better on TV.
All right, I'm sorry. I guess I could have cut that out. But yeah, again, it's a rigged game. Let the ATF do it, and they're in the... Basically, what they did is this. 10, 15 years ago, they held out the ATF. These happen, they say, whoa, we don't need new laws, let's enforce the old ones. The ATF can handle that, knowing full well it can't. This goes back to what I said about government before. The Republicans believe government is evil and it can't work, and they prove it by kneecapping it, basically.
Yeah. The NRA is very effective as a lobby.
Yes. Anywho, it is time for break. So we're gonna go out. We're gonna go and I don't know why this. I need to fix up my random stuff, but we will be back after this. This is, of course, Mike Check Radio with me, Adam Hebert, Wes Carscaddon, Rob Poole, and John Kendall. We'll be back after this.
Don't you know that a traditional Japanese breakfast is steamed rice, miso soup, and a little...
Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
It's Thursday, January 17, 2013.
It's an issue which will afflict us in the conservation community for a generation to come.
Interior Secretary Ken Salazar steps down.
Everybody in the citrus business right now is worried. Everybody.
Crop killer. Freeze hits California citrus. 2012, the 10th hottest year globally. EPA squashes fracking drinking water study. Texas goes after Oklahoma's water. Plus, no, it's not your imagination. Spring is springing earlier than ever.
All of that and more straight ahead. From BradBlog.com, I'm Brad Friedman.
And I'm Desi Doyen.
Stand by for 6 minutes of independent green news, politics, analysis, and snarky comment.
Climate's always changing, isn't it?
Yes, it's always changing, Stuart Varney of Fox News. I give up. This is your Green News Report. Okay, Des, in our last episode, I complained about how it was freezing out here in Los Angeles and along the West Coast into the desert of Arizona, and that meant global warming was over. Now it's going to be 80 degrees this weekend, so...
Just 48 hours later.
You're back on. Global warming, it's back.
Dr. Jeff Masters of Weather Underground says that an extreme jet stream pattern is causing the record warmth in the eastern U.S. and the record cold in the west. Research suggests that the record loss of Arctic sea ice this summer is driving those changes in the jet stream, causing more frequent extreme swings back and forth in weather around the world.
Oh, I knew it. It's always global warming's fault, isn't it?
Well, record cold is a crop killer for California citrus.
That's a cold, hard reality.
This week, temperatures dropping into the 20s for a second straight night.
And that's a big switch from last year, where the record warm winter meant that spring was springing earlier than ever. A new study published this week, the first ever comprehensive survey combining naturalist records dating back 160 years, shows that flowers are now blooming earlier than ever in the United States. In record hot years like 2010 and 2012, the study says flowering of indicator species occurred up to 24 days earlier than in the 1850s.
And actually, I can attest to that in my own backyard.
And that record warmth drove the record drought that still has its grip on the Midwest and is causing record crop losses. And that means not only rising food prices, but also a record crop insurance bill for U.S. taxpayers. The Agriculture Department estimates total crop losses in 2012 will be about $16 billion. That's nearly double the amount paid out for crop disasters in 2011. The record drought is also impacting water supplies. Now, Texas is suing both Oklahoma and New Mexico to get a bigger share of fresh water supplies. 87% of Texas is in moderate or severe drought right now, and the Lone Star State is taking their cases to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Water wars.
Now, as we reported on Tuesday, 2012 was the hottest year on record for the continental United States, driving record heat waves, drought, and wildfires. But globally, 2012 ranked 10th hottest worldwide.
See, no big deal.
Since record-keeping began in 1880, the top 9 hottest years globally have all occurred since 2000.
Oh, well, that's not good. And that sort of goes against Greg Gutfield on Fox News and the little fit that he threw when Bob Beckel had the temerity to mention that this year was the hottest year on record in the U.S.
The global warming deniers, 2012 was the hottest year on record since the
Lies!
in 1875.
In the United States, not the world. That's the United States warming.
Why do you get so excited
global
about this?
warming, which is, it hasn't happened in 15 years.
It hasn't happened in 15 years, Desiree.
Yeah.
Except for those last 10 years all being within in the 2000s.
Fox News is a little confused about science.
Anyway, press on.
What the frack? In a bombshell exclusive, the Associated Press reports that the Environmental Protection Agency deliberately squashed an analysis that indicated fracking, the controversial natural gas drilling technique, caused methane contamination of water wells in Texas. AP obtained a confidential report showing that the EPA set aside strong scientific evidence of fracking-related contamination against a driller, Range Resources, after Range Resources threatened to withhold evidence and access for the EPA's ongoing comprehensive study of the impacts of hydraulic fracturing.
Why would the EPA agree to withhold that information, to bury that study?
Apparently due to pressure from Range Resources.
Unbelievable.
Finally,
If this debate that is going on in Washington continues the way that it has started, I will tell you that conservation will be set back 50 years in this America.
that was the warning from Interior Secretary Ken Salazar at the Conserving the Future conference in 2011. Salazar announced this week he is stepping down. As Interior Secretary, the former Colorado senator was slammed by the oil and gas industry for mild reforms to oil and gas leasing and offshore drilling regulations after the BP oil disaster in the Gulf. Now, both the Interior and the EPA cabinet posts are vacant. Will Senate Republicans allow any new nominees for Obama's top environmental posts?
Not a chance. Watch.
I think we call that a snowball in hell.
Yeah, there will be no EPA director, I predict, for the next 4 years. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. For much more on all of those stories that we covered today and the ones we couldn't get to, please check out our website at greennews.bradblog.com. I'm Brad Friedman.
And I'm Desi Doyen.
And this has been your Green News Report.
It's the HowdyLand.com News Bullet with Stan Douglas. Go to HowdyLand.com and click on the Funny Times special offer to receive your free sample issue today.
Today, it's time once again to check in with temporary employment correspondent Chip Whistler. Chip's assignment takes him far and wide to experience firsthand what it's like to survive in post-economy America with no real marketable skills and a willingness to endure endless degradation in pursuit of a day's wages. Today, Chip is filling in as a clerk at Punchtown, a retail chain offering luxury revenge at discount prices.
Ow! Jeez, it hurts.
Evidently, Chip is busy with a customer. In other news, outlawed unions in Wisconsin have banded together to undo the results of their previous labors. As a result, garbage is piling up, kids can no longer read about science, and all indoor plumbing has been removed from state government buildings. A bill to outlaw the union outlaws was called in from Governor Scott Walker's private outhouse a short while ago. This HowdyLand.com news bullet was brought to you in part by a gaping hole in the ground outside of Williston, North Dakota. I'm Stan Douglas.
Years ago, superstition and the sword ruled. It was a time of darkness. It was a world of fear. It was the age of
Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
And hold on, I better switch our thing. Yes, I am at least 1,000 years old, so yeah, it was an age of darkness, a world of fear. It still is to conservatives, when I'm around. Anyway, we are back. Of course, I'm joined by my co-hosts, associate producers, and slave labor, John Kendall out of Missoula, Montana.
Hello.
Rob Poole out of Baltimore, Maryland.
I'm the slave labor.
And of course, Wes Carscaddon, the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio.
My name is Wes, and I am a slave.
And I just want to apologize. I was an idiot last break and forgot to switch to our break card. So everyone got treated to me eating a slice of my pizza.
So what kind of pizza is it?
It's sausage. I said that already.
Oh, didn't catch that. Sorry. Yum.
Yeah, but how many people actually watched the video?
Well, I'm sure Paul is.
Maybe.
I hope. Please.
It's okay. All right, it's the voices that matter. It's the ideas that matter.
Okay.
Not the pretty face. And the yummy pizza.
By myself. No, okay. But yes, I apologize for that. It's very unprofessional. So, Wes, you're in charge. I'm going to the punishment room.
Right. You're gonna get a spanking.
50 lashes. Swiss 50 lashes with a wet noodle.
Oh, not a wet noodle.
Oh my. All right, so yeah, let's get it on. No, wait, that's not a good thing to say after that.
Things are getting spicy in here tonight.
Much like
somebody cue the porno music.
So here we go. Here we go. David Barden of Wall Builders. This is the guy who claims to be an American historian and knows absolutely jack shit about history. David Barden.
Second Amendment is not to arm you less than to arm the government. Because what specifically happened was if the Americans had not been able to go home and grab their guns off the mantle over the fireplace, they could not have taken on the British coming after them. The British was their government. And the Americans had to have equal firepower with whoever was coming after them, and that's why they went to Fort Ticonderoga and got all the British cannons, came back and used those. That was just individual citizens doing that. So the purpose of the Second Amendment was you've got to be able to defend yourself, your rights, period, against anybody, and that sometimes means it may be your government coming after you. So if the government's got AR-15s, guess what? The people can have AR-15s. Well, you don't need. Wait a minute. Whatever the government's got, you got to be able to defend yourself against. So there was no limitation on what you could or couldn't do with the Second Amendment. It was a self-defense amendment, and if everybody else is coming at you with AR-15s, you don't defend yourself with a BB gun. You get AR.
All right. First of all, wrong. Second of all, wrong. Third of all, you are a stupid jackass.
This would be the perfect time for the Dr. Cox wrong song.
And I actually have some new audio candy, courtesy of John.
You fool!
Yeah, that guy is stupid. Can I standards of practices? Can I say he's stupid? Yes, other Adam, you can. All right, we're clear. He's stupid.
Yeah. Adam, there's an evil Adam.
No,
Wait,
there's
which
another
one's the evil one?
No. There's an other Adam. It's like Barry and Archer, except we're both sane. I had to get myself. Look. Do you know how many jobs on this show there are? I had to get some clones. The Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars offered me an excellent deal on some cloning cylinders.
Okay.
Never mind. All right, so here's Brian Fisher from the American Family Association. Gee, since when did guns have anything to do with family? So here he is.
A number of Democrats talking about the fact that NRA supporters, NRA leaders, people who support the Second Amendment are crazy. They're using that word. They're insane. They're lunatics. They're
are!
And remember, 4 of President Obama's executive orders that he issued yesterday have to do with mental health. So already you're starting to see this template laid that if you believe that you have the right to protect you and your family with lethal force if necessary, there's something mentally imbalanced about you, something wrong with you. We're not sure you're the kind of individual, the kind of American that ought to be trusted with firearms.
All right, you can stop now. Thank you. And
it was
to
just
that,
sad music for his failed idea.
And here we go.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
You don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right.
I mean, the thing is, like, it's just he's coming from a completely flawed, like, perception, because you're coming from that beginning of, like, there is a conspiracy, you know, there is this agenda underneath, but these are the same people who were talking about, well, it's not guns, it's a mental health issue. So, yes, you should be happy about that being in there.
Well, I mean, and Randy Rhodes talked about this, I believe, last week, and she said a lot of this uproar about the mental health issue, the mental health executive orders, is that a lot of the South gets this government money because of the crazy checks, which is basically money from Social Security because you're batshit crazy. So if we had, better mental health checks and our background checks, the people wouldn't be able to get the crazy check and the gun. They'd have to choose. Do I want the free government money that I tell everyone else, that I tell the black people they're lazy for? Or do I want my gun?
Well, certainly, because if you fail a mental health screening, that you have to, obviously, if you're getting a Social Security check, the idea is that you can't hold down a job because you're so disabled. Then yes, you shouldn't have a gun. That's a reasonable thing.
Not according to the NRA. Remember, the NRA fought to say if you were on the terrorist watch list, that shouldn't disqualify you from having a gun. They fought for terrorists' right to keep and bear arms.
Now, full disclosure, the terrorist watch list is bullshit anyway. I mean, you can get a terrorist watch list for downloading things.
Oh, speaking of downloading things, guess which company came back today?
Mega Upload?
Yes! Yes!
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, wait, I have... Hold on. While we're still on the NRA, I thought I'd play this from Futurama.
So what are you doing to protect my constitutional right to bear doomsday devices?
Well, first off, we're gonna get rid of that 3-day waiting period for mad scientists.
Damn straight. Today the mad scientist can't get a doomsday device. Tomorrow it's the mad grad student. Where will it end?
Amen, brother. I don't go anywhere without my mutated anthrax. For duck hunting.
Are we still on?
What? What? Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
No. No.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Wait. Could you not hear that?
No. I mean, yeah, we could hear that.
Yeah, you're fine.
Uh-oh.
Everything's cool.
I'm saying there's a problem with the call. Something's going on.
John's down. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah, we're down a man.
Well, we're mooked down.
Man down! Get the medics in here.
Yeah, well, it looks... So let's see if we can get... Oh, it says he's busy. Oops. All right. We got to get him back. We're going to do Asshole of the Week an hour early. Or half an hour early. John! Come on, man! Answer!
Maybe you got a call or something. I don't know.
Hold on. We're trying. Oh, wow. I'm sure this is wonderful radio. John, are you back, sir?
Well,
yeah.
Well, there you go.
All right.
Man,
so there we go.
The king can't get internet in Montana.
Huh?
Even the king can't get good internet in Montana.
I know, but I don't know what went wrong, because, like, Skype was like, oh no, it's not. Maybe by mentioning Mega Upload, maybe there's some evil Republican out there that...
The NSA is on to you, brother.
It's the... Cheese it, it's the cops.
Oh no, he knows about Mega Upload. Click.
All right, so we're back. I was just gonna say, John, we're gonna do Asshole of the Week about half an hour early, so we're gonna do it at the bottom of this segment, towards the end. Just a heads up.
No
all right. What are we gonna listen to next? So here's a good one. The NRA president had some thoughts.
But, it's really illustrative. I mean, I've gotten dozens, hundreds of death threats My son, who has the same name as I do, had somebody post a death threat on his Facebook.
That they've created that allows the player.
Kill Dave Keene game?
Yes. What's your reaction to that? How does your family feel about that?
Well, I don't know. I haven't asked them. You don't know how they might feel depending on what kind of mood they're in. But it's really illustrative. I mean, I've gotten dozens, hundreds of death threats. My son, who has the same name as I do, had somebody post a death threat on his Facebook page. And when he and my daughter came back, I don't know how you do all this because I'm not a computer geek, came back and said, actually this isn't him, but he is our dad, and we think he's a pretty good guy. They came back and said, well, now that we know you're their children, we wish you'd be killed, because then he'd feel bad about it.
How recently have all of these death threats come your way?
Pardon me?
How recent are these death threats? Are these over a period of years?
These are all since the first of the year.
Since the first of the year, hundreds of death threats.
And if you, what this reflects are two things. One is the uncivil way in which ideologues on the left in this country go after their enemies.
Yeah.
The second thing it shows is a reflection of the left and the President of the United States' attempt to demonize and blame those who disagree with him for everything that he doesn't like.
Don't be fool.
Oh, okay, so we're the ones who are uncivil, not, say, Rush Limbaugh, who, what the hell? Who had this to say, no, that's not it. What the hell? Here we go. Not Rush Limbaugh, who had this excellent idea about the gun control debate. And about
it's terrible that 26 people died in Sandy Hook and 20 of them were children. Terrible. Very sad. Coming up to Christmas, hopes and dreams that young children had, their parents and weddings and graduations that would never occur. However, on any given day in America, more than 3,000 children are killed from abortion. And we have no problems with that. We're okay with that. It's not an issue. So you can't spend 40 years of telling people and telling children that if I make a mistake, if something comes up, and this child I don't want is in the way of my future, in the way of me graduating high school, is in the way of me going to college, is the way of me being happy, is in the way of whatever I want out of life, that it's okay for me to kill the baby, but later on when I become a disgruntled employee, when I become an unhappy student at school because children are bullying me, that I want to eliminate them and get them out of the way. It's the same concept.
Well, it's a good point. You know how to stop abortion? Require that each one occur with a gun.
Now that, according to David Keene or whatever that asshole's name is, that's civility. I'm being uncivil. I'm the uncivil one in this debate. Fuck you. All right, David. Fuck you. You want to have oral sex with a gun? At least do us the courtesy of making sure the thing is loaded with the safety off. You sick motherfucker.
Okay. But, yeah.
I'm sorry. That's how I honestly feel. That is how I honestly feel. You want to flate a gun? At least do us the courtesy of making sure it's loaded and have the safety off. Do us a favor.
I have to question, though. Are there really 3,000 abortions being done a day?
Does it matter?
Sound like a real number. But yeah,
Does it matter?
It's an unrelated issue. It's what they love. It's what the Limbaugh crowd loves to do. Of like, something in the news. By the way, abortion.
Yeah.
Like,
We're talking about.
It's over sensationalism. Like 3,000 abortions in a day. Whatever.
Here's the thing. We're talking about a little clump of cells that isn't a human being. That isn't a baby. The Bible makes it clear. And of course, I'm an atheist, but I'm just saying that according to the Bible, which the right wing says we're supposed to live by, it's not a child, it is not life until it has gotten its first breath. The Bible makes it clear. With first breath comes life. We're talking about a clump of cells here. Most abortions happen within the first trimester when it's just a little clump of cells.
Yeah.
And they're saying that clump of cells is more important than a 6-year-old at kindergarten.
Yeah, no.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I am just...
Let the bird do it.
But sometimes, you just gotta roll your eyes and make the winking gesture. I mean, that's all you really can do sometimes.
And of course, Rush Limbaugh wasn't the only person. This is, again, remember, Rand Paul is considered a conservative intellectual. Hint, hint, there's no such thing. But here's what he had to say.
I'm against having a king. I think having a monarch is what we fought the American Revolution over. And someone who wants to bypass the Constitution, bypass Congress, that's someone who wants to act like a king or a monarch. I've been opposed to executive orders, even with Republican president, but one that wants to infringe on the Second Amendment, we will fight tooth and nail, and I promise you there'll be no rock left unturned as far as trying to stop him from usurping the Constitution, running roughshod over Congress, and you will see one heck of a...
The triple on my head says that Obama wants to be a king.
It should be pointed out that this speech happened before Obama's press release, where he stated the executive orders.
Yes, we may. Yes, you may. Duly noted.
In fact, I'm reading through some of the executive orders right now, and so far, I haven't seen really anything scary. There's some, there's some parliamentary shit. Really, it's not much to be scared of.
It's mostly him calling on Congress to do their fucking job.
Yeah, and of course they're not. All right, so let's take out some trash, shall we?
Let us.
Yes, let's.
Who is he? He's an asshole, sir. I know that. What's his name? Asshole. Major asshole. I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Were you born an asshole?
Asshole?
Or did you work at it your whole life? Either way, it worked out fine. 'Cause you're an asshole tonight.
How many assholes we got on this ship, anyhow?
Oops, hold on. Yeah, apparently the fact that we have a segment called Asshole of the Week makes us uncivil. So, John, why don't you go first this week?
All right, my Asshole of the Week is a Maryland politician from Robert's neck of the woods. Maryland delegate Don Dwyer. He crashed his boat last year and crushed and fractured the skull of a 5-year-old girl.
Classy.
Now here's the best part. He doesn't blame it on the alcohol itself. He blames it on two things: his wife leaving him, and he feels betrayed by longtime allies in the state house for approving whatever of same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
So,
I think
that the gays caused him to crash his boat. No.
Yeah. The gays made me do it.
Yeah, somehow that argument doesn't hold up.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Good pick, John Kendall. Rob Poole, what do you got for us, sir?
My asshole of the week is Bill Maher. Now, I'm going to explain this. Of course, yeah, the word asshole is very, it has a lot of meaning. In this case, it's basically because the way, excuse me, the way the two major liberal shows work, especially in late December, what will happen is Bill Maher goes off from mid-November to mid-January each year. So there's a period of time in late December where there's basically nobody on TV that from the liberals' perspective that's on. So I'm glad actually this week that he's back. because I missed
All
it.
right. All right. And Wes Carscaddon, asshole of the week, sir.
My asshole of the week is a man named Gary Lynn Wilson from Wilmington, North Carolina, for having the single worst fucking possible timing in the world. Gary Lynn was attending a gun show, and he was bringing his own personal shotgun, just his hunting rifle, to get it inspected and checked. He left a round chambered, which then accidentally discharged through his own negligence. This is the worst possible day you could have done this, because it just makes the entire culture, the entire hobby look like a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yes. This was just breaking news right before we went on the air. All of a sudden, I get a post from Laffy talking about this. And I just want to say that...
something about that. Yeah.
And I just want to say that, isn't it funny that the first Gun Appreciation Day also falls on our annual of Douchebag Avoidance Day? Coincidence? Nah. All right, I guess it's my turn. I forgot I'm supposed to bring something to this discussion, and my asshole
really?
week. Yeah. Damn.
We can get away with it, but you can't. You had to pick an asshole.
I do have an asshole. It's the I do have an asshole of the week, and it's the NRA for obvious reasons. The fact of the matter is that we continue to act as though the NRA has a place at the table. They have proven time and time again that they don't. They continue to act like children, and therefore they should be said, you no longer have a place in this debate. Shut the fuck up and go away. And that is why the NRA is my asshole of the week. Are you happy now?
No.
I'm never happy.
Happy is a relative term.
Anyway, we should get going to break. When we come back, we're gonna talk some more about the. We got more clips from stupid conservatives, and Driftglass and Bluegal are gonna be on for a few moments with us, and then we're gonna auger this baby in. This is, of course, Mike Check Radio with me, Adam Hebert, Wes Carscaddon, Rob Poole, and John Kendall. We will be back after this.
Woo. But who's the father?
What? Wait. What?
Nothing. Just go on.
Okay. Make sure I get this right this time.
Adam Hebert.
Should be like Kleenex. Soft, strong, and disposable.
All right,
Smarter
about 5
than
minutes.
Savage and sexier than Limbaugh. This is Adam Hebert on Mike Check Radio.
It's the HowdyLand.com News Bulletin with Stan Douglas. Go to HowdyLand.com and click on the Funny Times special offer to receive your free sample issue today.
The state of Maine was booted out of Canada after sneaking across the border near Frenchville and being arrested while hitchhiking on a nearby Trans-Canada highway last week. Repeated calls to the State Department from Governor Paul LePage went unanswered until his constituency was literally dumped on the U.S. side of the border by Canadian authorities. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's executive assistant Barbara Hopkinsdale tried to explain.
We really hoped someone up there would take them in, no questions asked, but they didn't.
5 state legislatures voted to make coal mining a required course for all 6th graders today, while at the same time defunding all middle school math and science departments. The new law is expected to all but eliminate childhood in Kentucky, Arkansas, Pennsylvania, Wyoming, and West Virginia, where most boys and girls begin shaving well before what most Americans call puberty. This HowdyLand.com news bullet was brought to you in part by a plate full of runny eggs as obscene as anything you can imagine.
This is Stephanie Miller.
Hi, this is Tom Hartman.
Hello, everybody. I'm David Schuster of Take Action News.
I'm Brad Friedman of BradBlog.com.
Hi, I'm cartoonist and agent provocateur P.S. Mueller.
This is Nicole Bell of CrooksandLiars.com, and this is...
You're listening to
and watching
Filter Free Radio.
Filter Free Radio.
Filter Free Radio with Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott.
Jacob Dean.
With Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott.
You can't have for-profit programming in the public good. That's a contradiction. Because realistically, if it's for the public good, then it can't also be for-profit. That's sort of the notion of why we need more PBS and NPR and nonprofit co-ops and whatever you can find in terms of nonprofit media. It's sort of what we're doing here. And, there's no real reason to make money off this, because if we did, it would really conflict with what we're saying.
FilterFreeRadio.com.
What the hell? Are you stuck at home on a Saturday night with nothing to do again?
I can't take it anymore!
Then join me, my co-hosts, and my guests every Saturday evening for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert. Okay. Together we'll discuss the big news of the week from entertainment and politics, talk about the issues that are on your mind, and hey, we'll even talk about general stupidity and jackassery from the American right.
You stupid jackass!
So join me every Saturday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central at my Ustream home, Mic Check Radio. Come on in, it'll be loads of fun.
Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
Have you checked your mic? If you haven't, somebody else has. That's Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
Fuck yeah! And we are back for our final hour. And this one, I think we can officially say that, oops, that is not what I had in mind. Let's try that one.
It's a doozy.
We're going to have Bluegal and Driftglass. God damn it. We're going to have Bluegal and Driftglass on for a few minutes to tell us about the festivities that we're missing in Washington, D.C. And I want to say, America, I have to hiccup something fierce.
Good to know.
But I also want to say this, America.
You have chosen wisely.
I mean, can you imagine President Mitt Romney?
I will say, I as much as I really don't want to be there because it'll be huge and crowded and messy, it sucks that I'm missing the parties that go along with it.
Yeah, but
those inauguration night, people gonna be getting hammered.
Those are formal parties, though. We're talking like black tie balls.
You get drunk at those too.
Yeah, really. I mean,
you just get drunk looking classy.
I look fucking classy in a tux, yo.
Shit, I can rock a tux, motherfucker.
I'm gonna find out how I look like a tux in June, because my sister, I was talking to her about, because I don't know if I mentioned this before, my little sister, she'll be turning 30 in February. She's getting married in June, so we will be off for a week sometime in June. But she's getting married, and she is insisting that I wear a tux. It's like,
dude, wear a tux.
No, see, the best thing about being a fat dude, like, I can rock a fucking tux, dude.
Oh, dude, fat dudes can rock tuxes like nothing.
Because we look like gigantic penguins. And penguins are cute.
Fuck you, Adam.
Hey!
I look like some sort of mafioso, and I look fantastic.
Alright, fine. I'll look like a gigantic penguin, and penguins are cute.
Oh.
Yeah, really. What do you have against penguins, motherfucker?
I have nothing against penguins. It's anteaters I hate. Wes will get that joke.
Anteaters.
Wes will get that joke.
Mom,
maybe
my nuts.
He got the joke. All right. Good one, Wes. Thank you very much.
The young Raul Julia.
I mean, now I noticed this because I over the week I watched Hard of Hearing Darth Vader. I don't know if you've seen that.
I can't say that
But
I didn't.
I noticed Peter Cushing, who was Grand Moff Tarkin in the first one. Have you ever noticed he always looked old, no matter when you see him? Because he was in Hammer horror films with Christopher Lee for like 30 years, you know, from like 1956 all the way through
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's some people who are like that. They just like I swear they're born looking old.
It's like
Patrick Stewart. Really, he wasn't that old when he did Star Trek. I mean, he was older, but he wasn't like I think he was like in his 50s.
Or even go back further, the original Dune movie. He played Gurney.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying though,
He actually
Peter
had some hair.
Yeah, I
Peter
mean, but that's the
Cushing.
thing. Some people just like I don't know. They look old, and they just it's the natural look.
Yeah,
for
I
them.
mean, Peter Cushing just always looked like he was about to die. I mean,
Peter
seriously.
Cushing found himself in just the right place in that role. There's no better man for it.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like him in horror movies. You know, in the Hammer horror films. I thought, you know, he and Christopher Lee made a really great team. And you know, he was a good actor. I'm just saying, he just looked so old.
I see your people looking old, and I raise you a Keith Richards.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I'm just trying to see if Driftglass is on.
Well, Keith Richards is just preserved by all the drugs.
John Knuffel, Nicole Sandler. Oh, we are in trouble. Hold on. Continue to talk amongst yourselves, please.
So yeah, the Cosmos decided this week to set Australia on fire.
That's new.
All right, Driftglass still
let's
has
put
not.
continent on the Bobby.
Yeah, it went up to what was it, 129 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, they had to put the new color on the temperature scale.
Purple.
Like, yeah, bright ass purple. Which just to me just isn't perfect because that color just says don't go here. Just don't stay. If your area is that color, leave.
Yeah.
Don't worry, that'll be coming to America soon.
And I've actually got a friend who lives in Australia. I've mentioned before. Giggles, Thomas Davis. He lives in Australia. We should. I'll have to ask him later. How's the weather? He'll probably say. He'll probably call me an asshole for bringing it up.
And you would definitely deserve it.
Yeah, really.
I guess maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. I'm getting messages from. Sorry. I disagree, but that's just me.
Okay.
Oh.
But yeah, talking again about Australia's heat wave. Yeah, from this one article I found, there was basically a time-lapsed video where this girl buys an ice cream bar, basically pulls it out, and over 6 minutes it melts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about like the summer here in the South. So yeah, I have a job that involves working outside in a suit.
Yeah, I don't want that job.
All right.
Yeah, it was about
want a job, period.
All right, we're gonna add Bluegal and Driftglass now.
No.
Hold on, I messed up. I'm sorry, Bluegal. I thought you were saying you were ready to be added now. Should I cut you loose for now, or do you just want to stay?
My volume down, just a sec.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. There we go.
This is fairly tame for us.
Hello, Bluegal. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you.
Let me add
Driftglass is there too.
Yeah, I saw. I thought but anyway, I thought you guys were saying you're ready now, and I added you. So I apologize, but thank you for agreeing to join us. I understand you guys are attending the festivities in Washington D.C., or is that someone else? Oh wait,
no.
Okay, okay.
We're attending these festivities in Springfield, Illinois.
Well, by a staggering coincidence, I'm in Champaign.
Oh,
so,
wow.
You know, I think I'm sorry?
I'm staggered.
And I mean, I believe we've actually talked in Hal Sparks' chat before, but thank you both for agreeing to join me because we're always looking for interesting people to talk with, so thank you very much.
Exactly. We love it, sure.
And again, Driftglass, just in case you missed it, I apologize because I thought you were saying you were ready now. So sorry about the mix-up.
We are ready now.
Okay, anyway, you were on with me. I'm Adam Hebert, and I've got three wonderful co-hosts. John Kendall out of Missoula, Montana, at the University of Montana.
Hi, John.
Hello.
Hey, John.
And Rob Poole out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Excuse me for my incredible... Like everyone else in the world, I had the flu.
I'm sorry.
And
I've been dealing with it for 3 weeks now.
You just sound like Tom Waits.
And of course, our first co-host who joined us first, Wes Carscaddon, we call him the most badass co-host in World Talk Radio, and he's out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. So we're all over.
I haven't had a flu since 6th grade, so Rob can suck it.
Hey, Wes.
I'll think about it.
This isn't a contest, guys.
Oh my.
We have company. But anyway, no, seriously, I just thank you for agreeing to do this, and I want to say thank you to Victor Rocco because it was his idea to invite you. He's like I said earlier, he has been a very busy beaver on our behalf. So thank you, Victor Rocco. We appreciate it.
He's really a wonderful podcast networker. I've been very impressed with him on Twitter. Putting together and supporting liberal podcasts all over, including ours. So we're very grateful to him.
Yeah, I'm always grateful for help.
He's like the swing Godfather.
Yeah, yeah.
He has a great mafia name, Victor Rocco.
I'm gonna make yous an offer yous can't refuse. But no, I mean, I'm always grateful to help because school started this week and I'm kind of already in a panic. You know, I'm like C-3PO. Oh dear. Refresh my memory. Your weekly show, which is posted on Crooks and Liars, I believe, that's every Saturday afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. My information.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it used to be. We now do a podcast roundup every Saturday night, which I do. So I'm linked there, but. We used to actually run on Crooks and Liars, and then John Amato, the owner of Crooks and Liars, decided he wanted to, because there were so many great liberal podcasts out there, he wanted his blog to promote them. So now we do a podcast roundup where we just link several liberal podcasts every Saturday night. And I do that for Crooks and Liars. I also do their open thread every night. And Driftglass and I are at the Professional Left podcast, which is a weekly show. We post every Friday afternoon. And we are on our 163rd episode, uninterrupted. We just celebrated our 3-year anniversary as podcasters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And our 17-month anniversary as husband and wife. I'm not that kind of wife who says, honey, it's our 17-month anniversary. Mm-hmm. But
Don't you mean
Today is
17 and a half, honey? Yeah.
no, this just happens to be. Today just happens to be.
Well, congratulations to you both. And now I see why I thought you guys broadcasted on Saturdays. It's because I see your name attached to the Best of the Left, or not the Best of the Left, the podcast roundup. And I think I've been on there once because Nicole Bell is a regular guest of ours. So I'm pretty sure. And the thing is
we
we're
try
actually
to link up people who are writing for Crooks and Liars whenever they're on the air with someone. We always try to make sure our readers know that whenever possible.
Right.
So if you ever have any Crooks and Liars people on your show, shoot me an email. I'll be glad to link you up so that everyone knows.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. It's just, a lot of this stuff, we're pretty new. We started in June, very first weekend of June. So we're still we're still kind of building, we're getting there. I mean, we're just now getting our own separate website where we can post our podcasts. And we post videos, a video archive, but we don't have a podcast stream, and we are fixing that starting this week. So
good.
So yeah, I mean, and it's definitely helpful for there to be like that roundup thing, because that gets people, that helps build this alternative media. And I don't know if you all are familiar with Kenny Pick. I apologize. I'm sure you might have heard the name if you've listened to Stephanie Miller.
I've heard the name.
Yeah. We've had him on frequently. He's a good friend of mine, kind of I jokingly call him my adopted big brother, but and I know that it's a tremendous help to him. That's why we always promote him. And if you guys have any sort of promotions, we'll be more than happy to add them to a regular rotation.
Thank you very much.
It would,
Well, it is cross-pollination, and there really is lots of room in the liberal podcast world for one more. I don't ever see it as a competition. It's always just great to meet more people and add our voice to the mix, and look forward to meeting everyone, whenever possible, and getting either online or in person. So yeah, it's a party. Come on in.
Yeah, the water's fine. No, I've always said that we're like a big, happy, dysfunctional family.
It's exactly.
And all you have to do to join, it costs nothing to join, but you have to be able to punch your weight.
Yeah, you got to be able to put in your hours at making it happen. That's all.
I'm trying to make an honest effort to be better at that, just because I've got to find a way. I'm still learning, but I've kind of got an idea of how to balance school with this, and that's one of the reasons why I picked Saturdays. It seemed to be a day when there wasn't much on the air, and
when I do the roundup and update my iTunes podcast subscriptions, there is nothing during everyone uploads their podcast either on Friday or Saturday, and that's when people go to look for it so that they can mow their lawn or do their laundry or whatever while they're listening to podcasts, or commute during the week. So it is the natural time to post a podcast is Friday or Saturday. That's really when people go to look for it anyway, so you might as well be part of that group. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And once people get used to it, they email us at 1:00 in the afternoon going, "Where's the damn podcast?
Where's the damn podcast? We've been waiting." Sorry, dudes.
I've actually gotten that reaction before, where last month we've been broadcasting from live stream for just over a month, and last month I went behind enemy lines. My parents live in Enterprise, Alabama, which is way down south. So the computer I borrowed couldn't run live stream. It literally maxed out the processor. So we're gonna have to move we're gonna have to broadcast from Ustream for this for a couple weeks, and people didn't realize where we were, and there's just this panic. It's like, I'm sorry, but it was kind of a split last minute thing. So I get what you're saying.
Well, don't feel bad. I mean,
I was in Birmingham for almost 12 years. All three of my children were born in Birmingham, Alabama. So.
Well, and if you are, you mentioned the Hal Sparks show, and I love Hal. We've interviewed Hal actually. Hal Sparks, and he's a very fine guy, very funny, very smart. But I've listened to him for probably over a year, streaming on the internet, And I have yet to have a single show. I think he's yet to have a single show that didn't have technical glitches, phone drops, lags, server crashes, and so forth. So even the folks with the tremendous amount of resources behind them
and so forth,
seem to have a little
nature
trouble
of
getting
beast.
Technical difficulty.
Yeah,
we're ahead of the curve. We're ahead of the curve.
Just don't go to work for Current, because you'll disappear forever.
Yeah.
It's turned into a witness protection program for liberals. So
yeah. So since you brought that up, what do you think about that? Because you have the right wing trying to make out Al Gore to be this big hypocrite, and it's like he's a capitalist. Back off, you know.
Well,
go ahead.
I know it's kind of out of left field, but since you brought it up, I figured I would ask.
Current TV was a fine idea, as was Air America, and they have both met the same fate, which is they blew all their cash on hiring people up front, like Keith Olbermann, which was fine, but you end up with a diorama studio made out of cardboard boxes and one camera, and we have that. It's called C-SPAN, and so it was a good idea, but it was getting such minuscule ratings, and it wasn't going up, it wasn't going anywhere, that at the end of the day, the decision to sell it was probably just a practical one.
Yeah,
Who
mercy
sell
killing.
it to is a function of the marketplace. But
Yeah.
I like the idea of liberal media. I wouldn't be doing this. Bluegal and I would not be doing this. We've both been blogging for 8 years and podcasting for 3 and consuming vast quantities of media. And so we don't do this, we're sort of professional amateurs at doing this. But, Current TV looked like it was time to, it was that office in downstate that wasn't making any money, and the sheriff was drunk, and maybe it was time to close it down. So if Al can make a couple of bucks off it, I don't begrudge him that. I think it was kind of tone deaf, but his heart's in the right place. But he's always had kind of a bit of a lead foot when it comes to execution.
Yeah. Well, and Air America's main problem, I'm not privy to their internal secrets, but my understanding was they were just poorly managed from the beginning.
Yeah.
Their biggest. I'm sorry.
Oh, that is absolutely right, and it cracks me up that the person who, one of the people who drove them into the ground through mismanagement, is one of the people that survived to go on to produce a show on WCPT called Both Sides Now with Mary Matlin and Ariana Huffington. It's like my worst nightmare. It's wow. So the least fit person out of that wreckage survived and put together, Ariana Huffington and Mary Matlin to talk about centrism, which is, again, that's just my worst nightmare come true. So it isn't necessarily.
I kind of imagine that it ends in a boxing match at least twice a week.
I hope so. And one of the
that would be entertainment.
Well, I believe it's called Foxy Boxing, and you have to pay extra to see that on paper.
That was good. But no, I mean, I wish
liberal media is in trouble. We have little footholds here, little footholds there, but liberal media writ large just can't ever seem to get its act together. So, there we have it. And except for people like us who are out there sort of inventing it as we go along, I think that's the future, because I think it has to be.
Well, and I think we have access to more people, and the internet isn't a rigged game. National talk radio is. It's clearly rigged in favor. What was that story about Dick Armey coming out where he didn't realize he was talking to Media Matters. How stupid do you have to be? But that aside, he just basically we were giving we were buying air, we were paying for conservative talk radio, and it's because they're willing to waste money to maintain this myth. I wonder what Joseph Campbell would have to say about the myth of conservative talk radio.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah,
you could do a whole show on that. Yeah.
We'll get them.
Loki, they're the trickster. They're the highly paid shadow that's there to create chaos.
I like that comparison. In case you can't tell, I'm a mythology nut. I love that stuff. But it's this illusion. You're right. It's a trick. because we now know that the Rush Limbaugh's advertisers, for example, lost a lot of money, and so yet his ratings supposedly didn't go down, or stuff like. Well, it's ratings sells advertising dollars, but
and now that that's a really good way to put it, and that it makes me think that other than the 50% of the people in this country who pay no attention to any politics or news at all ever, those of us on the left, it's sort of like watching Penn and Teller next to a more standard magician. As Penn and Teller actually show you how the trick is done, with the glass box, this is how we're having this illusion. We see the illusion. We can see where the rabbit is. And if you're on the right, you continue to maintain that it's just magically being plucked out of the air. And that's where I think that the divide is. We can see the false bottom. We can see that it's a lie. And we just keep saying, but it's so obvious that you're being lied to. Why don't you see this for what it is? And the right's just like, no, it's the truth. He's making rabbits appear out of thin air, and he's guessing that card every time. And why can't you understand that this is reality? And those two worldviews just are not compatible with each other. They can't communicate.
Well, and Sean Hannity is still trying to convince his listeners, which I think he's succeeding because people still watch him. That the WMDs are now in Syria.
Yeah. Yep.
That's where they are, and it's not that Saddam Hussein never had WMDs. They were shipped off before we could find them.
Yeah.
And so if you believe that kind of malarkey, and I'm not sure we're allowed to swear on your. I'm not sure we're allowed to swear on your show.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we have no standards here. Well, no, we have standards, but
very low ones.
Yes.
Well, so if you believe that kind of baloney, or how far can I go? Really, bullshit.
Bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, we don't care.
We're fond of the word bullshit.
Then you cannot be based in a reality-based system. So
no. As I like to say, we can no longer survive half fox and half free.
Yeah.
To steal from Mr. Lincoln, we have.
And another of our big bugaboos is about centrism and how that covers the right by saying both sides. Both sides do it, and that our big hashtag, our big thing that we're just trying to push is both sides don't. Both sides don't torture. Both sides don't lie us into war. Both sides don't pretend that a tax cut isn't going to cost anything. Both sides don't obstruct appointments of the printer of the United States just to make a political point. Both sides don't do that. And so this centrism that comes from mainstream media, David Gregory's and David Brooks and the mainstream press that says, it's both sides. It's just a lie. It's the biggest lie, and it allows the right to get away with what they get away with. So, Driftglass, why don't you tell your little joke about...
I have a little joke. You want to hear my little joke?
A little joke about blaming...
Yes, please.
Yeah. All right.
We'll end on this because we have 3 very good children who are upstairs being quiet while we're talking to you. So,
like I said, we appreciate that.
15 minutes at a time.
Yeah. All right. So
go ahead, Drift.
So Dick Cheney is caught on the White House lawn on video, live video, throwing burning kittens at homeless veterans. What are the first 3 words out of David Gregory's mouth? But the Democrats.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was supposed to try and answer first. I apologize.
But
the
Democrats.
But the Democrats.
It's always but the Democrats. I have a conservative friends. I have conservative colleagues. Every single time I bust them out on some stupid lie or some internet crackpot story or something that they sort of out of thin air decide, well, what about this secret prison that Barack Obama is building in Peoria? They say with great declarative emphasis.
What about the WMDs that are in Syria now?
Yeah. And I very carefully...
That's not true. Yeah.
Very carefully debunk them and show them, no, this is a lie. It comes from this source. It is absolutely untrue, etc. The next response is never, oh, I guess I got that wrong. I guess I have to rethink that. The next response is always, but Al Gore has a private plane. But some liberals somewhere did something wrong, so I'm not going to change my mind. And the central big lie that the big media story that is uncovered for the last 10 years has been the big lie of centrism, the gigantic lie. And once you start listening for it, once you start listening for people to cop to, both sides do it every time they get caught, you hear it everywhere. Swear to God, spend a week, listen for it, and you will hear it everywhere.
Yep.
Anyway, on that note.
Anyway, thank you both for joining
you know
us.
What? We would love being on your show. It was great news for John McCain.
Yes, it was.
And invite us back again. We'd love to come.
Yes, I was about to say, feel free, whenever, if you ever have more than 15 minutes, sounds like it's hard, but
You're always on Saturday night, is that right?
Yeah.
You guys are always on Saturday night?
Yeah.
Great.
If we're not, we always say we're not going to be on. We try to be as courteous as possible to our listeners. So generally, yeah, I've got nothing to do on Saturday except watch anime after midnight. So, anyway, thank you both very much. And should I send you a link to to this edition for the roundup, Blair? Okay, Absolutely. We'll get that to you. I'll get on that as soon as we're done at 9:00. But anyway, thank you both very much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Have a nice evening. And that, so that was very fun. Let me get. There we go. Oh no. Okay, so we're late. So yeah. Driftglass and Bluegal. Very interesting, and hopefully we'll be able to have them on again sometime soon for longer. It's hard to be a parent. Anyway, yeah. We will. We'll be back after this, and damn, what was I thinking? I'm thinking we're in trouble because I don't have my bumper ready. We'll be back after this to round out our show, and I don't have any nerdy news. Do you guys? We'll just keep on talking. We'll play some more of these clips because Rachel Maddow went after the NRA this week, and I'm impressed. So we'll be back after this.
You're listening to Adam Hebert,
a man with breathtaking anger management issues,
on Mike Check Radio.
It's the HowdyLand.com News Bulletin with Stan Douglas. Go to HowdyLand.com and click on the Funny Times special offer to receive your free sample issue today.
Since the collapse of the American economy in 2008, hedge fund managers and investment bankers have continued speculating on mysteriously conceived so-called financial products right up until yesterday. Well aware that the long arm of justice would seek to someday drag them off to nightmarish prisons in the South, the speculators have suddenly disappeared and are believed to be hiding among millions of frogs.
Ribbit. Ribbit. Ribbit, 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 ribbit.
And with humanity on its way out, scientists at the University of California have nominated the giant Pacific octopus to take over the planet once we are extinct and well out of the way by early 2017. The large, vastly intelligent cephalopod is expected to rule the Earth for the next 20,000 years until the common garden slug is ready to take over. This HowdyLand.com news bulletin was brought to you in part by the citizens of Luxembourg, and we wish them all the best. I'm Stan Douglas.
Are you living in a progressive talk void? If so, be sure to visit leftwingradiostations.com. The state-by-state listing is a quick and easy way to find any left-wing talk radio station across America, from sea to shining sea. Your progressive talk nirvana is only a click away at leftwingradiostations.com. Be sure to like Left Wing Radio Stations on Facebook and share it with your friends. leftwingradiostations.com. United we stand.
The body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ Killjoy detective.
It's Adam Hebert with Mike Check Radio.
Oops, I had my mic was hot and it was playing on my speakers. Oops. Sorry about that, everyone. Anyway, I was trying to post the link to our new blog, and I'm pretty sure we'll have all the host blogs up this weekend. I just have to get accounts for Wes. John, did I get you an account? Okay, I think it's Rob, Smith, Carscaddon, and Rob, did I get you an account? Okay, so just got two more to go. But basically that will be our blog. You guys can. Let me explain my vision for what I want with this. Basically, your personal blogs is for you to write about whatever you like. Anime, games, what that cloud in the sky. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't pull back the curtain! But, again, pretty much you guys can write about anything you want. This will also be where our podcasts are posted, and we have last week's podcast up right now. Unfortunately, I can't share the link, but if you go to MikeCheckRadioshow.com/blog, you'll see categories, and there's podcast, and that is where our podcast feed will be. Now, we're also going to get we have an RSS feed. I just don't have a link to that, and even if I did, I couldn't post it. But WordPress actually turns our like anything in this category gets turned into an RSS feed, if you get what I'm saying. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Okay, good. So that's done for us. I just have to upload the podcast, tell it this is where it is, and it does the rest just like that. So, yeah, pretty much. Hold on, I'll put a link to it in the Skype chat room. So I'm sure you guys have found it, but here you go. That's the podcast category. And then the only thing is that when you guys post, because I intend to have a link to everyone's personal blog, make sure you say, there's a John's blog category. John, when you post, if you would just use that to make sure your posts get on that list, I'd appreciate it. You know, beyond that, your blog is yours to do with as you please. The show blog is basically one thing I really want to do, and Rob brought this up, is I get what you were saying, Rob, about knowing it more in advance would be helpful. And like I said, I know I've dropped the ball on that lately. It's just like it's hard to keep up with everything between classes. I'm going to try and be better about show prep packets, but basically the show blog is where we're going to post, this is what we're going to talk about, these are our guests, a summary of of that week's show. And I'm going to try and get back into the habit of producing show prep packets. And I'm also going to try and get you guys email boxes I'm going to try and get you Mike Check Radio Show email boxes. I should be able to get all that done this weekend. So, and I'm going to need short bios, whatever you're comfortable saying. Like me, I just say I'm from Illinois. I grew up. I'm an Army brat. Just whatever you're comfortable with people knowing. And a sort of picture. It doesn't have to be an actual picture like me. I use an anime caricature of me. So. Okay. That's fine too. That's... Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. I forgot. Okay, so we've been screwing up. Paul Green... No. Paul Green points out that he could only hear me, and that's because I was an idiot, and I forgot to turn the Skype feedback on to the chat room. So,
good job.
Again, this is.
Like I said before during our talk with we're ahead of the curve on the technical difficulty thing.
And I will say that how awesome is it that they got an interview with Hal Sparks? I would kill for an interview with Hal Sparks.
Yeah, there were probably sexual favors involved in that.
I would no. Now, come on. Hal Sparks is a nice guy. I just, I don't think...
I'm sorry.
I
said he has standards.
Well, no, I'm saying... Oh, you sons of... No, I mean, I just...
Wait. I'll pitch in for a 12-pack for him.
He doesn't drink. He's straight edge.
Aw, damn it, drink until he's pretty.
I think part of the problem is I don't think I could go up to someone famous like Hal Sparks and say, I'd like an interview. I don't...
You just have to wait until the Soros money comes in, and then you'll be set. You'll get that, your ego will go from negative infinite to slightly above average. Or maybe I should say, needs to be pricked with a pen.
Hey, I try to keep my ego in check.
It depends on the celebrity. Like, when I went to the Shinedown concert here in Missoula, I was talking to the lead singer of a band called Adelita's Way, and they're like super huge, and he was super chill, and we were bros.
Well, I've been to anime cons. I've been to anime cons where it's similar. Some people get palsy with the fans, and others just keep them at a distance. Like I met this. John Kendall, you probably know who I'm talking about. I met the second generation red and yellow Power Rangers at an anime convention.
Yeah.
And they were nice. And then I got to asking them, so how is Jason David Frank, who's Tommy? And they were just like, oh, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
It's like... And I've heard that, but I've never heard it from people who worked with him.
Yeah, well, he's an MMA fighter now. And
yeah, but he's like hyper Christian.
Yeah, he has a tattoo that says Jesus didn't tap.
That's kind of tacky, isn't it?
Yes.
Tacky. You just insulted every person that's ever been called tacky.
I'm sorry. How would you describe that, Rob?
I don't know. We'll have to come up with a new word for it. Oh, actually, there is a perfectly good word for it. It's called douchebag.
I was about to say supercalifragilistic douchebag.
That is an insult to all of us who pride ourselves in being douchebags.
But no, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I've met Hal once before at a Sexy Liberal show, and he was very nice towards me. He's just busy, because let me tell you that at the Sexy Liberal shows, it's like everyone just swamps Hal and John. I had no problem getting to Stephanie Miller. And don't get me wrong, I got to meet all three of them, but I mean, everyone loves, like I said, I would love to get an interview with Hal Sparks.
Oh, once we get that George Soros money in.
Well, I signed over our souls to him, months ago. And, oh, should I have not said that part about me forging your signatures on contracts for souls? I'm sorry.
Oh,
Adam?
Yes.
There's anything there to get anyway.
That's why we haven't been getting the money, because I don't have one.
Damn it! All right, we have to find a John Kendall substitute that has a soul, so we can start getting this Soros money.
Maybe we can use the other Rob.
Okay,
Maybe.
so
No, the other Rob is one of my friends, and I don't think that he wants to sell his soul.
Sacrifice it for our good.
Yes. Become one of the four horsemen of the liberal apocalypse. But yeah, I mean, like I said, hopefully we'll be able to get them on, and we're working on getting Cliff Schechter. He's the one who's in D.C. See, and like I said, Victor Rocco, God bless you, Vic. He's been, like I said, he's been a busy little beaver for us, because he was emailing, let's see, Cliff Schechter, Driftglass and Bluegal, someone else whose name escapes me, and I'm responding to all these emails because I try to speak to them personally when I can, Rob, not Robert Poole, but Rob suggests that we try to get President Obama himself. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a bit above our little...
Yeah, come on, man. We gotta start small and then move our way up.
Yeah, let's start small.
We're not Jon Stewart, for fuck's sake.
We got. I think the biggest name we've got so far was probably
Brad Friedman.
Brad Friedman, and second biggest name was probably Kenny Pick, which says so much about us, doesn't it?
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, gotta start somewhere. But anyways, let's damn, we didn't get to any of our Maddow clips.
Oh well, it happens.
Hey, yeah, it happens. But so let's start wrapping this up, I guess. As always, we ask that you please check out our many fine affiliates. There's, of course, Talking Left with Shana and Danielle every Sunday morning, 9 to noon Eastern. And from what I understand, they've got a huge show tomorrow. Chris Savoy from the Stephanie Miller Show will be on live tomorrow. There's Filthy Free Radio with Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott every Monday and Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And those are both on Nicole Sandler's channel, Radio or Not. There's, of course, the Nicole Sandler Show, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern on Radio or Not, Nicole Sandler's Ustream channel. And, of course, Big Bro himself, Kenny Pick, with Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick every Tuesday and Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern on Spreecast and Talk Radio 1. And, of course, please check out our website affiliates, Bradblog at bradblog.com, USA Progressive with Ray Medeiros at usaprogressive.com, and, of course, my favorite webcomic. I don't know how everyone else feels about it, so I'm not going to say it's our favorite, but please check out By Moon Alone at bymoonalone.com. So, there we go. So, and I will say this, Wes, I liked your idea about the science stories. And, I don't know if we could each bring one to the table.
Well, yeah, that may be.
But we could do like one,
Yeah.
I like that idea.
I like science news.
Basically, Wes's idea was to find science stories and tell them in the most innuendo-filled way possible.
Yeah, filthy science news.
So
a gold mine if you anything about black holes. I mean,
I like that idea. So coming soon to Mike Check Radio, filthy science news. Kenny is just going to be lousy with requests from us for reads. Because I want to do where he reads stuff for us and records it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where is it? Like this.
You're listening to Adam Hebert, a man with breathtaking.
We all know the rest, and that is actually pretty accurate. I do have breathtaking anger management issues. Wes and Rob and John can all.
Yes, you are the horseman of the liberal apocalypse. You are the horseman
I am
of
wrath.
righteous fury.
You are righteous rage.
I am righteous fury. All right, righteous fury sounds better than wrath. Besides, wrath is one of the 7 deadly sins, and a homunculus. Yeah, I bet you. So, all right, let's auger this baby in. Parting shots. Who goes first? Rob, why don't you go first?
As usual. So this week I came along a great quote from Senator Al Franken. Conservatives don't get it. Liberals love America just as much as they do, but in a different way. You see, they love America the way a 4-year-old loves her mommy. Liberals love America like grown-ups. To a 4-year-old, everything mommy does is wonderful, and anyone who criticizes mommy is bad. Grown-up love means understanding what you love, taking the good with the bad, and helping your loved one grow.
From Lies and the Lying Liars That Tell Them. Yes, excellent book. Excellent book. Thank you for sharing that, Rob.
Excellent line.
And
an excellent quote.
Yes.
It makes for a good infographic.
Yes. John Kendall, parting shot, please, sir.
The death of Mega Upload was a huge bang back when it happened, but now glorious leader Kim.com has brought it back, and it's sluggish.
The porn will return.
Yeah, no. I use it mostly for anime, but file sharing, in my opinion, isn't a bad thing. So,
well, that and it's not. I think that a lot of content owners are just too aggressive. They go after kids for downloading one MP3 when the kid didn't make any money off of it.
Yeah.
I think that we need to revise our copyright laws where, you might get talked to and you can get in trouble, but you shouldn't end up owing thousands of dollars just because you downloaded one song and you didn't make any money. I think that we need to have stiff penalties for piracies where, copyright theft is where you are making money off of someone else's property. Mega Upload didn't do that.
Well, other than the ad revenue, but I could honestly go like a whole show about piracy, but
yeah.
Well, the problem is
I'll just
overblown.
sum this up, and if there's any instances of piracy, it's all the corporation's fault.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've always said that. Like Adobe, a lot of people need Adobe. If you're an art student, you have to have Adobe Photoshop. And they make it so you have to pay $2,000 for the suite. And they don't realize that price drives a student to say, I can't afford that.
The main problem is availability. That's what really drives piracy. There wouldn't be, for instance, HBO wouldn't have Games of Thrones being the most pirated show ever if, HBO actually offered Games of Thrones as a downloadable at a reasonable price.
HBO Go, as up as it is now, it's actually become a lot less of a problem because people who do have HBO can just watch it whenever and don't have to pirate it.
Well, that's great for, people in America, but it doesn't quite help if you're like in Belgium or like
any of the places that it's filmed.
I think basically. That, like HBO, what HBO could do is offer Go as a separate buy-in. For example, I don't have the option of buying HBO. I'm on a college
Well, they can't. Okay,
system.
They can't legally do it now because of the way. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I actually was talking about this.
It's their content. How can they not decide what to do with it?
I don't know exactly how the law works, so I'd have to look it up again. But they are doing everything they can to make sure that they can offer it as a standalone service.
I mean, I would say this. I would probably get it if it was like $10 a month.
Oh yeah, I have friends, my friends who I hang out with and watch most of my TV with, basically said they're going to just ditch cable if that ever happens because you can get everything you want on the internet.
Yeah, HBO Go actually is a really nice service.
Oh, it's great.
And like I said,
we've been watching through Oz recently, which is a show I totally forgot and is amazing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Wes Carscaddon, what's your parting shot, sir? We're almost out of time.
Oh, well, mine was about to be out of, was going to be about Mega Upload 2, you son of a bitch. But it's a trend that we're going to see in the news a lot, probably in the next few years especially, in that technology is going to keep changing. The internet's going to be more and more pervasive. Technology is going to completely change the face of how we view things. For another example, a story I was going to bring up, just real quick, is that there was a man who just recently produced the first AR-15 by a 3D printer.
Yeah.
That's going to change the game of the whole debate we've been having right now, just as one example.
Yeah, Sorry. You know that, that one thing where you wouldn't download a car,
You
from
can
the, yeah.
Well, not yet. It'll get
soon.
All right, well, that's pretty much it. I my parting shot is fuck the NRA. I mean, seriously. I'd like to thank, of course, Driftglass and Bluegal for joining us, and of course, my
very different person.
Driftglass and Bluegal, and of course, my wonderful co-host Rob Poole out of Baltimore, Maryland, John Kendall out of Missoula, Montana, of course, Wes Carscaddon, the most badass co-host and liberal talk radio. Thank you all very much, and we will be back next week. Have a nice weekend. Oh shit. I forgot to load up our ending theme.
Nice.
You're such a hot mess tonight.
It's not...
you a hot mess.
There we go. Have a nice weekend, everyone.
Time for go to bed. Aye, 'tis late. Shall we retire?
Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye to you all. I'll never forget you. Live in peace.
Goodbye, all. Stay happy and good luck.
On our way to great adventures.
Get out of here! Disgusting worm!
Push the button, Frank.
Get you next time, gang.
London.
We did it. All right. So, Wes, where are we on the Kickstarter?
I still don't have any information to put in for where to get the Amazon.
Oh,
I think
shit.
actually, didn't you set that up?
Yeah, actually, I just realized something. I've got to log into my bank account to finish that.
Oh, there you go.
I am an idiot.
But yeah, it's once that's settled, once that's done, I mean, I think it should be ready to go live.
And I'm just wondering this. Can we avoid paying the fees if we don't take it out of the account? Because there's a lot of stuff on Amazon that for cheaper than we get at other places.
I don't know. That would be to look through Amazon.
I mean, I'm just saying that if we can avoid those fees by keeping as much of it in our account as possible, obviously, we wouldn't be getting interest on it. But, if we can avoid that, if we can avoid that fee, I'm willing to take the hit in interest because the interest is going to be what, $3 a year, assuming we keep it all in.
Yeah, I mean, if that's how it works, I honestly don't know. So you have to look through the Amazon thing, which is your account.
All right. Well, let's get this taken care of. So you double checked. You're sure that you're good for this. You don't have to wait.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Like I said, I'm gonna spend tomorrow, working on the website. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to spend Monday doing it because I have Japanese homework due Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, do your homework.
I mean, it won't take all day long. It's just I'm not going to be able to focus on it exclusively. Oh wait, I can just look up deposits. Okay, I've got an Amazon payment of 20 cents.
That's probably just something they put in there to verify the account, make sure it's a real one.
Yeah. Oh no, I know. I'm pulling up my account. I don't know, but see, I thought it was supposed to be two separate accounts.
I don't know.
All right, let me log in and see what we get. And cause I'm not trying to slow walk you guys or anything. I want to try and get this done while everyone's here. Those bastards.
Hmm?
Which bastards?
They're holding my account. They've got a hold on my account for some reason. A check hold. I deposited a check, and I mean it's a $25 check. Why do they have to put a hold on that? Okay, I got it. Let me verify my bank account. Enter deposit amounts. 0.04, 0.16. Like I said, I'm not trying to be slow. I hope you're not in a rush, Wes.
I do kind of have to go, but it's okay.
Well, like I said, I want Okay, bank account is verified.
Cool.
So do you have an account on Kickstarter already?
Yes. Let me pull it up here. Pulling it up. Okay, where are we? I'm logged in. Where is my button to change the thing to log into our... Where is it? Where is it?
Well, can I log into it?
Okay, I didn't have a problem finding this before.
Ha!
What are you having trouble finding?
I'm logged into Kickstarter, but I can't find a button to go to my own projects.
Did you finalize everything? Except for the account?
Oh, there it is, my created projects. I found it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, like I said, what'll probably have to happen is I'll have to log in and put in my account.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's a way I can just keep the same info and just make you an administrator on the account.
That would be fine too.
Which I'm looking to see.
Hold on, I'll log in with Facebook on Kickstarter. Okay, so I do not see anything about making me an administrator.
Yeah, looking through it right now.
See, that's the weird thing. I don't sneeze during the show. I hiccup. I don't sneeze.
So, yes, apparently I can't, I don't see anywhere. I pretty much have to do it under my name, which means it would have to be my Amazon account. So, what we can either do is I can, send you over all the info. I mean, I've got everything written, and you can just plug it into Kickstarter. Which would be, I guess since you're set up, that'd be easier.
Okay, yeah. I just want to get this started.
Yeah, I can't really think of any other way around it.
Alright, let me make sure. Let me make sure we're not doing anything we're not supposed to. Here's something I'm worried about. Projects endorsing or opposing a political candidate. Do you think since that's not a big part of the show, we'll be okay?
Indeed.
I mean, we don't hide anything. We say we're liberal talk.
Right.
And it specifically says projects endorsing or opposing a political candidate. We don't do that much. I mean...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what the specifics on their rules would be.
It can't hurt to try.
Right.
I'm just saying that we don't make it a point on the show to say
go vote for Obama.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna. What? See, it's saying. I thought they said it could be a personal account. You know, because we're not a business.
Yeah, see, that's some of the stuff that I was hung up on.
Well, let me see what happens. I mean, like I said, I log in.
Excuse me.
No, it's fine, but I'm already signed up. So, I don't get that. I mean, I guess we'll do mic check. Adam Hebert and Wes. I'm gonna be pissed if we get in trouble for this. Because they don't...
I mean, the worst that'll happen is they say, no, we can't. I mean... That would be the worst they would do.
Yeah, and then we're up shit creek without a paddle. I'm just gonna say I'm the owner, Wes.
Yeah, that's cool. That would make more sense anyway, just because, like, if it's behind my account, it's weird that your name comes first in the project. If that makes any sense.
I'm just trying to think. Electronics, news.
Are you looking for the like category?
Business category on Amazon.
Yeah, that I don't know. I found journalism on Kickstarter.
I'm gonna say nonprofit.
Well, we are not going for a profit.
Please understand. They want. I want to take off your name. It wants less than 50 characters. That is a valid date of birth, jackass.
Oh no, you weren't born on a day.
No, it's because what it does is if you screw up, it wants you to start over again. I hate when things do that.
Yeah, it's annoying. Okay, so I mean, do you have it from here? I really do kind of have to go.
Did you send me everything?
Okay, let me go through what exactly, because I have mostly just descriptions and stuff. It's fairly quick. Okay, actually, yeah, I'll do it this way. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm working on it.
No, it's fine. I'm not trying to keep you. It's just unless you want to take care of this Tuesday. $05. I mean, I can do it Tuesday night.
I'm just basically copying and pasting the stuff that I put up.
I mean, listen, I don't mind attaching your name to the project on Kickstarter, but it wants less than 50 characters, so it's got to be
whatever.
with,
It ain't no thing. I did spend some time kind of copy editing and very carefully wording a lot of these things.
Okay, I'm successfully start up. Email confirmed, bank account, valid credit card. See, I'm just hoping that they're not going to want some sort of proof we're nonprofit. We can't prove a negative.
Well, I mean, you also can be a registered nonprofit business. I think that's everything.
Oh, they gotta. What the hell?
Okay, well, I sent you the text on Facebook. So that should have everything you need.
Okay. This is weird. It's not. It's take.
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
No, I'll just have to look into it because I mean, we're not trying to do a business. This is personal. Well, I mean, I don't want this to be a business.
Right. I mean, it is, essentially. Kind of.
Okay, I see what happened. I had to upgrade. I had to upgrade my account to a business account.
Ooh, a business account.
Ooh,
Look at this
look
player
out.
right here.
I hope I don't.
He's got a
regret
business
this.
account.
So does that mean you can fly business class?
That means you can get really high-priced hookers.
Hi. Hey Wes, did you watch that porn?
Yes, I did. Well, okay, I kind of skimmed through it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Was it hilarious?
It was pretty funny, I will say. It was, that was certainly SpongeBob getting a blowjob.
Amazing. I'll have to watch it now.
He shot his sea cucumber stuff all over the chick's face. Who I don't know who that chick was supposed to be. As far as I'm aware, there's no chicks in SpongeBob.
This is weird. Now it's saying that they verified my tax information. Never mind, we're fixed. Okay,
so we're good?
Yeah. So are you gonna contact Kenny and tell him you're free on Tuesdays now?
Yeah, I need to remember to do it.
I don't want to speak for you. You're your own person. I mean, I don't mind
Right.
if you say
That's
tell
cool.
him. You know, I'm
Yeah,
just
if you have to
saying-
be talking to him, that's cool to mention it. But I will try to remember to talk to him. I just never see him on. And,
I haven't seen him on in weeks either. I just shoot him a PM, and he answers
Yeah.
every now and then. So,
But yeah, it's all good.
all right. So I should be able to get everyone's blog set up, everyone's email set up, and if you don't already have FTP access, I'll get that set up. And I'm trusting you guys to do the right thing with FTP access.
Fuck the police access.
Remember though, we can't.
So I guess we
use-
shouldn't put any porn on.
We can't be. Hold on. We have unlimited storage, but we can't use it for store. You know, we can't use to put stuff we don't want on our computer. It has to be related to the show.
So show-related porn.
Show related porn, yes, we can probably fix. I'm just saying, like, you couldn't upload a 9 gigabyte ISO.
Right. Oh, duh.
Wow.
So
SpongeBob
Okay.
is SpongeBob is okay. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I know. I'm just saying that we can't be putting.
Well, yes.
Anything,
okay,
you know.
obviously, no pirating.
I mean, I have no problem with you guys. Like, if it's something small, I don't think they're gonna care. But anything bigger than like 50 megs, I would like it to be related to the show.
Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, that's just basic, internet common sense. Anyway, yes,
So-
I got to roll.
All right.
I see the stuff. I will hit you up at some point
Yeah,
in the future.
I'm working on this right now.
All right. Anyway, see you later.
Yep.
Later.
All right, guys. if you guys are done, you're free to go too. Unless you guys just want to, shoot the breeze. That's fine too.
I'm probably gonna go back to bed.
All right, Rob.
I would shoot the breeze if my voice did not sound like shit, and hopefully by the next show, my voice will not sound like this.
I'm sure you'll be fine. If not, like I said, if you need to take another day off, it's fine. We'll try.
Well, if it's like this, like next week, I'm gonna be kind of not happy because I'll have dealt with this crap for like 4 weeks now. At that point.
Well, like I said, just in case, I'll tell Wes Smith to be on standby.
All right, it shouldn't be that. We shouldn't have to deal with that, but
I know, but it can't help to line up someone extra.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, one of War's problems is he doesn't like it when I ask him the night before. It's like, I have other pressing issues like school. I don't usually invite the earliest I invite guests, unless I know they're busy, like Brad Friedman, is like Wednesday. And I know that's not the best way to do it, but I have priorities.
Right.
All right. Well, we're going to go, chatters. Thank you all very much. And, oh, wait.
Good night.
Rob, I don't know what to tell you. It just started. It's going so far so good. Not you, the other Rob.
Oh.
Okay. But it's going okay. But yeah, we're gonna get going. Everyone have a great week. I'm sure I'll talk to Paul Green on Facebook later tonight, knowing him. So everyone say good night.
Good night. Have a pleasant week.
All right, guys.
Don't
good night.
fap too much.
Don't what too much?
Don't fap too much.
Party hard.
Party hard. Okay. Look, I'm sorry, guys. I really gotta go. I got the website stuff to get to, and I gotta get this Kickstarter up and running. So, y'all have a great week. Bye.